Boy, this thing's ready to go. Thought I could walk away for a few minutes and get back in time, man. Happy Tuesday night, everybody. This week is just cooking right along. Oh man, I wanted to set up a different mouse pad, but yeah, I won't worry about that now. Man, let's get started here. I left off yesterday here in the Solomon Islands.
Yes, sir. Ahead standard.
And my 8th War Patrol's been a zinger. Lots of tonnage. A couple of 10,000-ton large tankers. An old split freighter, a couple of small old engine afts. I'm running into quite a bit of traffic here in the Solomon Islands. I've even gone back to Tulagi to refit. So let's take a look at where we're at. I have the assigned mission of going all the way up here to Japan to do photo reconnaissance, but I'm not going to do it. It never works. You go up there to do photo reconnaissance, like, now what do I do? You know, there's no button that appears, like, take pictures, and you can't complete the mission. It can't be done, so I always skip that, but that doesn't stop me from sailing around and opportunistically hammering away at Japanese shipping. That's always fun, and that's kind of the object of the game, really, more than anything. So we continue. It's March 6, 1943, so I'm halfway done with my campaign, knowing, of course, that the war ends in 2 years, and I've been at sea for about a year and a half. On my 8th War Patrol, and I'm not worried about fuel consumption because I'm just hanging around the Solomon Sea. I think once I get done patrolling this area, I'm going to go to the Bismarck Sea, but I have radar contact.
Single contact. Bearing 3, 4.
So what I do when that happens is I pull up a notepad. You guys can't see this on stream, but I'll explain it verbally what I do. And I type in some critical information. The first thing I do is I have radar contact in this position. I put a mark here. And then I write down the time in the letter. That's 03:15 hours. Mark 1. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, I don't know, until I start to get close, I guess. How dark is it out? It's, well, yeah, 0300. It's the middle of the night. It's dark. And I like to circumscribe a little circle with a radius of, at nighttime, I'm going to go maybe 3.5, 4 miles, 4 nautical miles, which is 8,000 yards, basically. So at this range, this tells me at what range, the radius of the circle, I need to maintain distance here to keep from being seen at speed. It's much closer if I stop, but at speed, there's a bow wake that can be seen for a much further distance. So I just basically don't want to get spotted, and I will let radar continue to plot this ship. Let me zoom in and see if it's multiples. Yes, it's another group of 3. I just actually assaulted a group of 3 ships like this earlier tonight. Not tonight's stream, but, you know, tonight in terms of, you know, my game, my campaign. 03:15, let's go to at least 03:45. I gotta be careful with this time compression not to let it go runaway. So there's 03:45. They're now basically 45 degrees off my bow. And I'm going to make another mark. I can go to 1x time compression. I'll command this thing to turn to the south by southwest.
Yes, sir. New course. 19.
I'm actually going to use the ruler tool and draw a line from where that radar detection was. And I think they're going to be doing about 9 knots, because in a half an hour they covered 4.5 nautical miles. I should have left the mark there. Hang on, it'll reappear. But it doesn't matter, I have the numbers. There's actually a website that I go to on Calculator Soup. It's a speed, distance, time calculator, and that was 4.5 nautical miles. And the time was 30 minutes. It's going to tell me 9 knots. Yeah, I did that math in my head. Sometimes the numbers get a little more complicated. So let me move the circle to... Honestly, I need to do something here. I do need to draw a plot from that mark through the radar contact. And now on my plotting board I have a very, 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 very accurate picture. Let's go to the right just a tiny bit here.
Yes, sir.
I'm trying to get a 90-degree approach to the plot, their projected path of travel. Where did it go? Oh, geez, oh Pete's, what's going on? This thing is going crazy. It's losing its mind. Now I'm going to circumscribe. I don't know, I guess I could go 2 nautical miles. Really, the main thing that I do this for is because I don't like this scale that appears up here. It's 2.5, 5.1. The scale isn't very accurate, and it just doesn't, you know, tell the whole story. I'm still tracking these targets by radar. And let's make sure it's still nice and dark out. They're doing 9 knots. I can slow down to 8.
Yes, sir. Ahead 1/3.
And lower my bow wake a little bit. That increases my stealth and reduces our detectability. This is a 4,000 yard shot. So, you know, I'm going to go 2/3 ahead, and I'm going to use some time compression. I'm going to put a save point down in case I really flub things up.
Yes, sir.
Why did that just do that? Alright. As an FYI, I have 2 computers here. The one I'm actually playing on for these older full screen games, and then I have a separate streaming computer, which normally I play on the streaming computer, but I want to check something here. But just because of the way things work, with the full screen, and sometimes it crashes, and it's just easier this way for older games. I'm tempted to install Battlefield on this computer and play that from here. I can see my plot needs to be fixed. I'm really close, but not exact. Alright. I'm trying to decide how close I can get. Let's wait until the lookouts spot them, because I'll see them before they see me. And then I'll go to periscope depth. Okay. Merchant spotted. Dive to periscope depth.
Periscope depth. Ship spotted.
Let's take a look at things here. Send out a ping.
Ship spotted.
So they're too far away now to do anything with.
Yes, sir. Periscope depth.
What bearing were they on? 040, I think. Yeah, kind of 045 to 065. Let's get the torpedo bearing transmitter, the TBT, ready to go. Oh, I see him plain as day. Especially because there was a little graphical glitch there. It's hard for you guys to see on stream. But I know what type of ship that is. That one's tougher. Isn't there a third ship out there? Is there one in front of him? Okay, while we dive... I didn't expect to see you here. You're a console gamer. What are you doing here, Rebellious? It's good to see you. How you doing, Kylester? Appreciate the sub. My sub count is way down, man, but so I definitely appreciate it. 16-month streak, holy cow. And you used the Mizzy emote. You know, Mizzy is Mrs. Reaper's cat. She doesn't even hang out here anymore. So 050, let's go see how far out he is. Let's ping him. I wouldn't dare do this if there were warships present. Okay, 4,000 yards. He's 2 miles out. It's just within range of my torpedoes on the fast speed setting and within half of their range in the long range setting, but I'm going to get much closer than that before I actually fire. Oh, what have you been up to? You know, I was going to give you a holler. I haven't talked to you in so long, Rebellious. I thought, what do you play anymore? By the way, in case you didn't notice, this game is ultra realistic. This is not like World of Warships. I just can't stand stupidity, so I just don't play that game anymore. Since I have a full battery charge, I'm going to speed it up. I'm going to close in at full speed. Yeah, I've been seeing it in Discord. Discord kind of spies on you, and it tells me what you play. It seems like you've been playing a little bit of War Thunder, and then the baseball game, whatever that's called, MLB 2023, or maybe it's 2024. And I can dig it. You know, I'm a baseball guy. That's pretty freaking cool. MLB The Show. 24, yeah. Well, hopefully things are going cool with you. Oh, you got to play it early? Yeah, I don't know. Games just suck, Kyle. I'm trying to figure out what I like. I'm so desperate for a game that I like that I actually had to go to a 17-year-old game. And it's March 7, 1943, so I'm halfway done with this campaign. Once this reaches, you know, the end of the war in August 1945, for the Pacific Theater anyway, I'm going to have to figure out something else, but I'm enjoying my time at night playing this game, that's for sure. God, burnout's such an understatement from what I went through. Oh, look it! Why are they zigzagging? How do they know about me? Oh, did they spot my periscope feather? I bet they did. I'm so busy chatting, I didn't even realize getting close enough for that to be a factor. Son of a gun. We'll use time compression to get up here nice and close.
Yes, sir.
I'll go all stop. That's gonna be...
Relieve the
We're
launch.
within 1,000 meters at this point of their course line here, but now they're zigzagging and moving around. Son of a gun, I blew this attack. It's really hard to get a good torpedo hit on them. Right now I'm waiting for this thing to slow down so I can put the periscope up, and once I'm stopped I can put the periscope up and they won't see it because it's not moving through the water creating a splash. That sucks that I blew it. Let's see exactly where they are and how close. Okay, he's about 2,400 out. Let's stick the periscope up out of the water. Keep it nice and low. Let's get the recognition manual out so I can plug in some particulars. That's not a tanker. These are all the tankers at the top of the list. That's what it is right there. It's a large modern composite freighter. 24-foot depth. I'll measure his distance using the statometer. It's really hard to see it at night, but I'll get an idea. 1900, that's... He's further out than that. I know because I pinged him. 1700, that says? Yeah, that's not it either. Come on, damn it. Why can't I get this right? Anyway, we're going to call that good. I already know the speed, so I don't need to time that. They were doing 9 knots, and I don't think that they changed the speed. His angle on bow is probably 40 degrees. I'll keep refining as he gets closer my targeting solution on him. I will lower that while I get my torpedoes set up. I'm going to go... They're running deep because it's early war, so I'm going to go maybe 21 feet. Open that torpedo tube. 21 feet. Open that torpedo tube. 21 feet. Open that torpedo tube. And 21 feet. Open that torpedo tube. I am set up to volley 4 torpedoes at him. I don't know if I want to expend all that. God, the F-16s, F-50... You know what? I tried to play War Thunder, and I couldn't stomach it. I just couldn't stomach it. It's just so basic and crappy, it's just not fun. There's nothing to do in it. You just fly towards them, they shoot you, shoot them, yeehaw. You don't... It's just stupid. But I could picture you liking it because I know you're really highly fueled by the competitive nature of that style of gaming. Like, hey, I got to my next tech, I got to the next tree, you know, I unlocked the next ship or whatever. You love that kind of thing, and you always have. So if he's 50 degrees off mine, 90 minus 50, he's probably still 40 degrees out, right? Yeah, he's coming at me like this. So let's fire. Left 5 degrees. That's not going to do it. You know what? He's kind of coming straight at me. He's zigzagging. I got to try to predict his zigzag. See if my fish are on target. That first one's way out ahead of him. This is such a pain in the ass. Is he armed? Yeah, he's got a gun. I can't surface and do deck, you know, use my deck gun on him. Alright. All these torpedoes are missing off of the bow. I knew I fucked this attack up. I wonder if I'm going to be able to get him with this shot. I'm going to take a mulligan. I'll restart the attack. This time I'll pay more attention and be in position in the right place. Well, you know, top tier in every game gets more complicated. You know, with the radar, and it almost sounds like World of Warships. There's more radar, there's more complex armaments. But it's still, you start here, they start there, you fly towards each other, and you fight for a few minutes, and then it's over. It sucks. I remember playing Aces High You had guys up in the sky fighting. You had bombers trying to, taking the time to get to higher altitudes so the fighters can't get up at them. And it's just way more of a game. You have troop transports. You're trying to get... Let me turn left 90 degrees. Flank speed. I'm just going to simply get into better position here.
Yes, sir.
Let's extend this plot line. Aces High was such a fun game, man. God, it was so amazing.
Yes, sir.
Because it wasn't just about fighting, aircraft to aircraft. You actually had to dispatch troops. I'd be flying the C-47 full of troops below radar, just nape of the earth, trying to sneak some troops in while a whole mob of the guys were just really quickly disable an airfield, and then we'd capture it. You don't get any of that with War Thunder at all. It's just too arcade. Way too arcade. It left me...
Yes, sir. Relieve the watch.
I'd be very, very, very disappointed. Where did you send it to me? Let me fire up Discord. I don't even have Discord up right now. Alright.
Yes, sir.
Periscope depth. Use time compression to get down there.
Depth 40.
You know what? I've actually got to back it up a little
Yes,
bit.
sir.
I kind of got too close to him here. And then we'll stop. Alright, now when they finally show up to the party here, let me look at these pictures. Oh, dude, that is cool. God, I don't even know if I have time to count the kills before these ships show up. Holy... Anyway, let's plug in some stuff. These guys are going to be 10 degrees or 80 degrees off the port bow. Their speed will be 9. The range, let me go to plot and I'll figure out the range. It's going to be about 700. Let's plug in 700 meters. Okay, so I don't want the torpedoes to go out and then turn left, so let's see about 10 degrees right. That's perfect. Whoa, hang on a minute, this isn't right. That's more like it. And I know my torpedoes need to be probably about 21 feet of depth. Yeah, that F-16, I mean, honestly, I don't know what to tell you, Kyle. I don't want to fly jets, though. I like World War II. I like propeller airplanes. I like twin engine. I like four engine. I like single engine. I like the World War II stuff. The jets just wouldn't do it for me. They just wouldn't. I know me. I know what I would like and what I wouldn't like. And I know I wouldn't like that. What should I do, though? I mean, honest to God. I played Call of Duty for a little while, and I have nothing but regrets. I wished I'd have never did it. I regret it. Of all the things I've ever done in my life, playing Call of Duty is my biggest regret. Without a doubt. There's no question in my mind that that's definitely one of my biggest regrets in life. It's just such an awful game. And I don't mean awful like it wasn't fun to play, but the business ethics, the design ethics. Oh dear God, Rebellious, please tell me you wasted money on that. You didn't buy Modern Warfare 3, did you? See, I learned my lesson with Modern Warfare 2. Please tell me you didn't spend money on Modern Warfare 3, please. You could have saved all that money and subbed my channel with it instead. Oh my goodness. I'm mortified at the thought of you spending money. Look, I didn't even buy Modern Warfare 2. It was given to me by one of my stream audience people. One of my iRacing friends, believe it or not. Flo2K3 bought me Modern Warfare 2. He'd been playing DMZ, and you didn't even need to buy it to play DMZ. The multiplayer is horrendous. In Modern Warfare 2, the multiplayer is nobody did that. They all played Warzone or one of its derivatives for free. By the time you got involved with Modern Warfare 3, we'd all learned our lesson. But there are still Call of Duty addicts. They did the Black Ops, and they did the Cold War, and the Infinite Warfare. They just did all those Call of Duties over the years. Not me, I knew better. I played the Call of Duty 4 and Modern Warfare 2, which I enjoyed to some extent, but I knew from that rotten experience that I wasn't going to like Cold War or any other such Call of Duty, so I didn't play any of the Call of Duties after that. I played Battlefield, and then I moved from Battlefield to World of Warships, which is where I met you. So, gonna be a while for these guys to get here. Let me save this as attack. Cold War, you know, a lot of those Call of Duties, if you go back and I watch a lot of these YouTube people that talk about those other Call of Duties, and they're speaking from a position of authority. Unlike me, they actually played those games. It turns out that while I was busy spending thousands of dollars on World of Warships and hanging out with people like you, it turned out that on the Call of Duty side of things, it really wasn't that bad for some of those episodes. Apparently, the big losers were Vanguard, and that was pretty bad. And then nobody thought that Call of Duty could ever get worse than Vanguard until Call of Duty 2. And then nobody ever thought it could get worse than Call of Duty 2, and then Call of Duty 3 came out. Terrible. It's just absolutely pathetic. Alright. Let's go take a look at what's going on out here. What other ships are out there? Okay, that's a little podunk piece of crap. That's a big tanker. I'm going to want to go after that tanker at some point. So this ship is coming into my happy zone. Should be right here at 10 degrees. So we'll go tubes 1 and 2 on this target. I'm going to fire at a second mast.
Firing tube 1. Torpedo in the water.
And the next torpedo I'm going to fire below the stack.
Firing tube 2.
Here comes tube 2, right? Let me lower the periscope.
Torpedo in the water.
So I'm going to hit right smack under that second mast, just like I had planned it. Perfect solution. Should go blow up underneath of them.
Torpedo impact.
Now here comes the second torp. Where's that? Oh, there it is. Well, that should slow him down, especially because that hit engine compartments. I want to fire at this tanker, though. Nah, it's just a small tanker. I think that's what that is. Let's go look through some of these ships. It's definitely small, something engine aft. I see his funnels towards the back. It's not that one, that's big. That's the ship. Small old engine aft. Yeah, usually when you see a funnel at the back of the ship, it's a tanker. Enemy unit destroyed. He's sinking. Okay, let's go up with the periscope. What is that? Let me look and see, does he have a gun? No, he doesn't. So, because he doesn't have a gun, I can go chase him down later with my deck gun. This guy looks like he might have a gun on the back, but I'm not real sure. I want to see what this one is, though. I know about my small engine aft. He's also got a funnel in the back, but his mast is arranged different. Is that it? No, it's not engine aft. Or funnel aft. Single island funnel aft is what I'm looking for. Oh, golly. I can't figure him out. Is it that guy? No. Large modern tanker? Hell no, that's not what that is. This one, maybe? I bet you that's it. Medium old tanker. That's a 4,800 tonner. Modern Warfare 2019 was the first of the failures by most people's accounts. But it was better than 2 and 3. That's just what I have heard. Let's go to the right. He's got a gunner on the back of that, I'm quite sure. Let's do it this way. Yeah, I was right. Looks more like an AA size gun, though. If you look at it on plot, they're busy going away from me, so... Let me lower the periscopes. I'll erase some doodles. I'll go take credit for that. That was the... Of those 3 ships, that was right there. That was a prime target. That was a good one to get. The best of the 3. So that's 61 ships. 303, 357 plus 7175. $310,532 tons. So this patrol is huge, 59,139. I've got almost 60,000 tons of shipping already since leaving Brisbane. 75. So I'm up to 66. 314. Sweet. Now I have to figure out how I want to continue my attack. Those guys are scattered. I think I'll turn to the left 90 degrees at standard speed. And I'm going to try to get outside of about a 4-mile radius of those guys. Oh, they're starting to return to their course. Let's turn left again. Oops, I have it paused.
Yes, sir. New course. 1, 3, 4.
Now I'm going to go parallel their course. I'm going to resurface. My torpedoes have been reloaded. Let's go save this real quick. You know what I was thinking about last weekend on Saturday? I remembered all of those Saturdays, because that was our day, right? Saturday, I'd come home around 1 or 2 in the afternoon. Certain times of the year, I didn't have to work Saturday mornings. But the whole time I'm out there working, you're sending me pictures on the phone, right? Look at this battle, look at this battle. Like when we spend the whole Saturday together playing World of Warships. I would like more than anything in this world to have a game that you and I can do that and just go do 12-hour gaming sessions like we used to do back in those days. Not every day, it would be the Saturday thing, remember? Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal fun, and I miss it. I miss hanging out like that, but more than that, what I miss is having a game to play for 12, 15 hours. Like even DMZ in Season 3. After Season 3, DMZ went to shit. And it really went to shit when Modern Warfare 3 came out. Because they sabotaged it. They literally sabotaged DMZ to force people to leave DMZ to go play Modern Warfare 3. And I'm not referring to the fact a lot of people think, well, they took away the missions. Now there's no DMZ anymore. No, that's not the problem. The problem is they amped up the AI, you know, the computer-controlled characters in the game, the bots. And the bots are cracked out. And you can't go anywhere and do anything. The bots just slaughter your ass. They sabotaged the game. Otherwise, I'd still be streaming and playing it, you know, and enjoying it. Opening up safes, doing contracts on the map, running away from the PvP assholes. It's just a shame. That's all there is to it, man. And that's just Call of Duty. The reason they did that was to force people out of the DMZ so that they would go play the new game that nobody likes.
Yes, sir.
Call of Duty's player counts are going way, way down right now. And when I say way, way down right now, I mean way, 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 way down. People are just, they're sick of it. They're sick of it for all the same reasons I'm sick of it. They're sick of being psychologically manipulated by rigged outcomes. Sound familiar? Doesn't that just sound like all the way down to the bottom, man? Oh, by the way, how you doing, Jedi? Good to see you again. So this time I'm going to go a little bit west of south.
Yes, sir.
Maybe 190 degrees.
8. Yes, sir.
And it's daytime. Make sure my periscopes aren't up. I'm sure they're not. Get my turn in. Go to periscope depth. How much battery do I have left?
Yes, sir.
Enough to conduct this attack.
Current depth 4.
And I need to know what probably about a 1 nautical mile circle looks like. About like this. I'm in a good spot. I'm at periscope depth.
Yes, sir.
I'll stop.
All stop. Yes, sir.
Yeah, you're just in time. I'm just getting started. I started a little late because I don't know if you watched it or not, Jedi, but they have the NASCAR College Series. The NASCAR College Series on alternating weeks from when the Coke race was. And tonight, Garrett Lowe won, former Coke Series driver. So he picks up $1,000 of college tuition paid for. And I watched that race, and normally I would start at 8 o'clock because I'm not going to do that late night thing anymore. I'm done with that. Those days are gone. I'm going to keep a normal sleep schedule. It makes my work life easier, just everything. It's bad for viewership, though, because I'm not a competitive streamer in this time space. If I stream overnight, then my viewer count goes up. Because, you know, people like you get sick of watching the real streamers, and then you'll come watch me, because the real streamers go to bed so early. Anyway, let's watch how these guys approach. It's looking good out there. I'm going to save this as attack. But the other thing, too, is this is a niche game. First of all, naval combat, World War II, it's everything nobody wants to watch. But it's what I like to play, so here I am. You know, I was just telling my friend Rebellious, who I've spent lots of hours, easily measuring into the thousands of hours I've played with that guy. And, you know, I'm just kind of reminiscing. I miss those days, you know. I miss having a game to play that's that much fun. There's just nothing out there anymore.
Yes, sir. Ahead step.
Let me get closer because my original plot was wrong. This one looks more accurate.
Yes, sir.
Let's go just a smidge to the right to make me even more 90 degree-ish to the... Oh, why did that do that?
9. Yes, sir.
I'll stop. I'm in a perfect attack position.
Yes, sir.
If you look at this outside view, these guys have no clue. But no, you're right, Jedi. This game, for being... This is a 1024 by 768 game, originally. And most people back then only had 800 by 600 monitors. Let that sink in. I mean, even HD at 1920 by 1080, which is what I'm playing it in now. This resolution that I'm playing in right now on my backup computer is 1920 by 1080. I mean, it's 15-year-old technology, but back then, 17 years ago, when this game was the cool thing, this monitor would probably have been an $800 monitor, or a monitor of this resolution. First of all monitors were expensive back then. 800 by 600, you could pick up a monitor like that for about $200, maybe 400 to get yourself a 1024 by 768 monitor. So yeah, I do, Jedi. I like the niche games. I played Call of Duty for a while, DMZ. That was pretty mainstream. I owned Call of Duty 2, but hated it, never played it. Part of the problem is the movement. All that sliding and just, there's bunnies and there's ducks and there's rabbits and there's rats. It's like, man, screw you and your Fortnite childish shit. I'm just too old of a man. I'm just way too old of a man to regress to my middle school years to play games that have rats and mice and cats and dogs and all this other deer antlers and all this other stupid Call of Duty Fortnite wannabe bullshit. I don't have 2 minutes for it. This is far more my liking right here, because this type of shit actually happened. If I go into my ship, guess what my guys are wearing? Hey, look, there's a guy in a Navy uniform, my helmsman. Back there on the dive planes. Cool, he doesn't look like a rubber duck from your bathtub. Anyway. I don't know, Jedi, it's everybody. Let me tell you something. If Activision were to listen to me, you'd have the best game in the world that nobody would play. Like this game. So, yeah, it's how I am. I like what I like. I don't conform. I can see why people like it. In fact, look, even me, as serious as I take shit, do you remember there's a little screen attachment? You can put screen attachments on those guns in Warzone and Call of Duty 2 and 3 or whatever. And they'll talk to you, they'll say things, they give the gun a personality. And there was one that I actually liked, it was a cat. And the cat would cough up a fur ball, or, the cat would say that, when you go to loot a box, the little cat on your gun would say, I hope there's treats in there, or, just shit like that. Alright, I had to bend on that a little bit, because I like cats, and I thought that was really quite funny, but Fortnite, look at, here's my position on it, Jedi. Don't call your game Modern Warfare and then put cats and rats and deer antlers and all this other bullshit in it, and rubber duckies. Call it something else. Call it Fortnite. Why not? Maybe even Overwatch. Just pick another name. Don't call it Modern Warfare and then have it not be Modern Warfare. Now you're being dishonest. Now you're being duplicitous. I don't want that, right? It's like, what if you went to Squad or Hell Let Loose or some of those other games that are ultra realistic? Arma. And you saw a guy running around wearing deer antlers. Fuck off. There's a place for cute, and I get it. Yeah, I totally get it. I really honestly do. And I have nothing against people enjoying that, but don't give me a game called Modern Warfare and put that dumb bullshit in it. I ain't got time for it. I'm grown up now. I'm all grown up. I've been grown up for 50 frickin' years almost, so yeah. I'll take a pass on the middle school shit.
Yes, sir.
I'm using time compression to get a little bit more into the attack zone here. I've drifted back down to 1 knot. It's safe to put this up. It won't feather. Yeah, I'm glad you agree with me there. I mean, I agree with you. You're right. It's artful. It's nice looking graphics. The artwork is fantastic. It's like World of Warships. World of Warships is a stunning game. Medium old tanker. That's going to be this guy here, isn't it? Yeah, let's lock onto you. I'll plug in speed 9. Draft is 21 feet, so I'm going to have to run more shallow than this. What's your range out there? Oh, I did that wrong. His tallest point is his foremast, so I line that up. And right now he's probably, yeah, 90 minus 40 would be 50 degrees angle on bow. About 1,400 feet. Let's see if that's true at 35. $12.50. Is that what my targeting solution is? Pretty damn close. I'm a little bit off. Oh, golly. You know, after playing games like this for years, to see how they handled, or should I say mishandled, the submarines in World of Warships is just mind-numbing. It just is absolutely crazy. Alright. Getting ready to fire. Oh crap, hurry up, hurry up. Let's go 17 feet, open the torpedo tube. And then fire, damn it. Tube 1. We'll do that one at 12 feet. Alright, let's go admire my handiwork. And hope I didn't blow this attack. We'll use a little time compression to kind of speed things up here because I'm impatient. Looks like maybe. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. I think I might have underestimated his speed. Maybe they sped up. Maybe they just know there's a submarine in the area, so they're cooking along at 10 or 11 knots now. This is going to hurt him. Hopefully enough to slow him down so the second hits. Oh, yeah. Oh, go up in flames. That torpedo's a dud. Doesn't matter. Tankers will sometimes only need one torpedo. Burn, baby, burn. Well, he's probably going to turn away, isn't he? Yeah, this is the one with the gun. I really should have let that one by and sunk this one by surprise. I screwed up. Not a good call. Because if I sunk him with a torpedo, I could have surfaced and had a just basically gun down the other one. It might be risky to be on the surface here in the daytime, though. What do you play these days, Jedi? Obviously iRacing. Outside of iRacing, are there any other games that are so much fun for you that you could sit and play 6 or 8 hours? Or are all your games just something to do, you play for a couple hours of free time, kill time, and then bail out? See, I like to be addicted to games. I'll admit it. I'm lost without an addiction. And that's how I feel right now. There's water on the surface burning away. I need a game like DMZ Season 3. I want a game where I can sit down to stream at 10 o'clock at night and look at my clock and go, holy cow, it's 6 o'clock the next morning, and not even realize that the time has passed. So, well, it's nice to know I'm not the only one. I always knew I was an oddball, but based on what I'm seeing on YouTube, I'm not that alone. When it comes to needing a game that, you know, isn't psychologically manipulating you with skill-based matchmaking or experienced optimized matchmaking in slash gameplay. There's just nothing out there. All these games are shit. Look, I almost wished I was 15 years old, because then I wouldn't have context. Any game I see would be fun, I'd sit and play it if I was a younger person. But I actually lived through the golden age of video game development. I've gone from electromechanical pinball machines when I was a child to video games that I spent all my paper route money on, newspapers, do you remember those things? And then now And I was just talking about this on my stream last night. It's so frustrating. For the first time in the history of human endeavor, we now have hardware that can run basically any video game you could ever design. Back in the day, you just kind of... You had to turn things down to low or medium in your graphics unless you were mega rich and could buy the latest, greatest hardware for computer hardware. Now we're at a point where even a second-hand computer can play these games standing on their heads. And they refuse to make a halfway decent game. If you were on my paper route, Jedi, your newspaper would never turn to mush. I always went, the extra mile. If it was rainy out, I'd walk up to their front door and I'd throw the damn thing in between their main door and their screen door. And they would generally survive the wet from that. Or I would, put each one in a little plastic bag. They still got wet. Those didn't work. That's why I generally didn't use those. Anyway, never mind. Let me update my scorecard. I'm kicking the pig out here already. This is a great hunting ground. Holy cow. That was a 4,905 tonner. Got him up to 16 ships on this war patrol. This is insane productivity. And my 62nd career ship was that one. So, 310, 532 plus 4905 is a new career high. 315,437 tons. So... let's get set up to chase down that straggler. I did this all wrong, man. I should have sank that guy first. I'll leave the doodles. Let's turn around and head northeast. Standard speed.
Yes, sir.
Let's get away from this guy so I can surface. I can erase this old doodle. Now let's head east by southeast for a minute. I think I need... God, will you please accept my click?
New course. 1. Contact.
How close is he?
Bearing 142 long range.
5 miles? Let me surface. I will save the game as attack in case I surface and get blasted by his gun. Okay, I'm on the surface. Can't see the guy.
Yes, sir.
Let's throttle up to flank speed.
Yes, sir.
$10 of newspaper? Are you still getting newspapers, Jedi? Are you serious? Is there a way to still get newspapers? I find that utterly amazing, man. I just honestly... Let me do an end around on this guy again. Right now it kind of looks like he wants to head about this way. Let me pick a new attack point, probably right about here.
Yes, sir. New course. 1 7. Yes, sir. 5.
Wow. You know, if you think I'm old, you should see my mom. To give glory to God is still alive. And she loves newspapers. I don't think she reads them anymore, though. She still likes to get magazines. You know, magazines come, Mom sits and reads a magazine. All that stuff's online these days, and rightly so, because it's just... You don't have to run expensive printing equipment. Let me go to periscope depth here.
Yes, sir.
Use time compression to till it gets down there. Alright.
Current depth 4 0.
I'll stop. He's still zigzagging away, but... Alright, he's coming literally straight at me, so what I'm gonna do...
Yes, sir.
Make sure both my periscopes are down so I don't feather the surface going at standard speed here.
Yes, sir.
I'll stop.
All stop.
Let me update my plot. I'm going to attack this target with my stern tubes. Let me get the... I'll probably fire at 170 relative. See, there's the stern of my submarine underwater. I'll be firing on a solution about like this. I got to recalculate all this now. Still 9 knots. The range, she's probably going to be 800 out on this shot. And that ship is going to be approaching, yeah, it'll probably be, if I've done it right, 80 degrees relative off his starboard bow. Why is this like that? What range did I plug in? Well, let's go to 150. 30 degrees. Look at... Oh, I got torpedo tube 1 selected. That explains it. There we go. Let's go back to 170. I'm going to go 165. Which puts him about 15 degrees off. That'd be 75 degrees. That's looking more like it. Yeah, roughly 700 yards. This is a perfect firing solution. Probably about what we're going to get out of this guy. But the range I might have wrong. Yeah, it's going to be about 1,500. Let me back it back up here. Let's get closer to his...
Yes, sir.
I'll stop. How much battery do I have left? I'm getting really low on battery. Did I do the proper... Did I do all my scorekeeping, by the way? Yeah, I did. Hydrodynamically, the more you have out of the water, the less resistance you get. But does breaking the surface cost efficiency? No, you gain it, and I'll show you why. With World War II technology, other than the German Type 23 and German Type 21 U-boats, early submarines, from the very first ones during World War I, and then all the World War II submarines were designed... If you look at this submarine, it's submerged right now, but you can still see the basic shape of it. You see how it looks like a normal surface boat with a, you know, the curve of the bow and, you know, just the basic shape of the thing. This thing was designed to have its... I got a torpedo tube open still. Which one is that? Let's go find out. I want to fix that because I'm just... Not that one. Not that one. It's probably tube 4. Yeah, that was tube 4. Okay, let me go back out there. In World War II and World War I, the submarines were designed basically to be normal boats that could sink. Okay, they weren't meant to operate underwater. They were meant to go there when they needed stealth. It was also thought, the theory at the time when they were designing these boats, was that they would accompany other ships. They would accompany a surface fleet, and then when the fleet got involved in an engagement, the submarine would submerge and begin terror tactics against the enemy, you know, firing from stealth. But during the war, anti-submarine warfare technology advanced to the point where they realized that, number one, these ships just couldn't accommodate engines big enough to maintain fast speeds, period. They could do maybe 19 or 20 knots on the surface and less than half of that when submerged. But towards the end of the war, the Germans in particular, who were taking an absolute shellacking by mid-war on with their submarines, they decided to build a submarine that was faster underwater than it was on the surface, as all modern submarines to this day are. So hydrodynamically, You want to be all the way out of the water. That's when you're going to have the least resistance from the water, when you're just using the normal hull. And the mast, the guns, it got to the point where the Germans stripped their submarines of all guns. Because they wanted that little bit of extra speed. All that stuff. And it didn't matter. Remember, these things are meant to run on the surface and then submerge to attack. So, invisibility didn't matter. If you look at this conning tower, they actually cut away all of this steel and left more of a skeleton of what you see here by late war, which I'm surprised I haven't been, you know, it's 1943 and I haven't been offered a refit where I can strip all of this off of the USS Drum. We were very effective with our deck guns because the Japanese had a lot of fishing boats and a lot, or especially early war, they had a lot of merchant shipping out there that couldn't defend itself. So instead of expending very expensive torpedoes, they would just surface and blast the snot out of them with these deck guns. So, and they're capped. The gun has a cap on it. This, I don't know if it shows it or not, but if you actually go to the USS Silversides or the USS Drum or any of these, they'll usually have a deck gun on there as a model, and the barrel will be capped. But you're right, the saltwater, but they were pretty rough. I mean, you put a shell in there, and you hit that primer, believe me, that explosion, it's going to propel your projectile. It's going to take whatever rust and corrosion right out the end of the barrel with it. But yeah, it's not healthy for it. These things, you know, they came back to port in pretty bad shape. And, you know, they would scrub them down, smooth them out as best they could, knowing that that's going to give them their best, you know, performance. So anyway, let's go back to time compression here. Let's go kill this final victim. Let's go look at this ship that's approaching from behind to my right. Let's see here. I want to see if I can remember what ship that was. Let me bring the periscope up so the water quits splashing it. That's a pretty distinctive set of masts. I'm going to be able to find that easy in the recognition. I'm going the wrong direction. I got to go towards the smaller ships, apparently. That's it right there, small engine aft. 15-foot draft, so if I'm going to hit him, I got to go probably about 11 feet. Opening tube 7, opening tube 8. And let's just go ahead and do some readings. It thinks he's at about 1100. Let me let this roll. Oh, 180, that's about 35, so that would be about 65 degrees angle on bow starboard. I already know his speed is 9. Let's lower this and see if he is actually at about 1100 feet. I won't leave the, oh, it's going to be behind to the right. I won't leave the periscope up while I'm down here doing this. Perfect. Yeah, I've got the right solution on him. So, I'm going to stop this. I'm going to fire on him at about 165 relative. And when that happens, he's going to be about 75 degrees angle on bow starboard. He'll still be 9 knots. He might be 900, 950 meters out by that time. So we'll fire on this vector. Okay, we'll keep the periscope down for the time being. I'll use the hydrophones and listen for him to approach. He's starting to come into it already. Was it 175 that I had him at, or 165? I think it might be 165. Oh! I better recalibrate this for 175. That's 15 degrees. I might already have it that way. Let me double check. No, I did not. Yeah, I did. Okay, tube 7 and 8 ready to go. Just take a look. I'm going to put the first one between the first mast and the bridge. And I'm going to put the second one between his funnel and his second mast. Alright. Torp's underway. Looks like a miss from here, don't it? Oh, it is a miss. Those missed. They missed marvelously. Did he slow down? I wonder if he slowed down. Oh well, let's just reload. Terrible miss. I don't know what I did wrong there. I just... Mathematically, it doesn't make sense that those missed. Not at that close range. Even if you badly miscalculate, they're so close they still hit. If I went back to the VOD, I could probably, you know, analyze it, but that doesn't matter. I'm just having fun. I would never have done this reloading to have another chance at it. I would have never done this, 17 years ago. I played, I guess you would call it the hard way. Shit. I didn't save this just before, did I? Frick. I gotta repeat that whole mess. I gotta go to the left here, 060. Standard speed. I can surface. Turn right 90 degrees. That's going too close to him.
Yes, sir.
Still closing too fast. How's my battery charge coming? I sure would like to put some charge on this battery. And then let's update my plot so I have a general idea where he's going. Okay, we can take a 90-degree turn to the right. Well, let's go 45 degrees.
Yes, sir.
Just to give myself a little extra range on him. Okay, now another 45 degrees to the right.
Yes, sir.
A little more to the right than that. Okay, let's get rid of some of my old doodles. Let's update my plot. And let's get within 1 nautical mile of his projected approach. I can go to periscope depth here. That's periscope depth, ahead 2/3. Let's stop. Let me resave my attack so that I'm this much closer if I screw up and decide to restart it. Again, all of this was because my target choice. When I did the sneak attack, I should have killed this guy first. Then I could have just simply, chased the other one down on the surface and killed him. Alright, this is a bow attack, too. I guess it's fine. Let's get these views reloaded. Hear the exciting music? That's him. Small old engine aft. I'm going through all this trouble to sink a 1,500 tonner. It's pathetic. It's not that big of a deal, though. Who cares about tonnage? Just playing and having fun, right? He's 40 degrees. So that would put him at 50. He's about like this. Probably still doing 9 knots. Sink everything. Leave no survivors. You're 100% right, man. It's a good time, man. I enjoy this game, man. It's just freaking timeless. I'm so glad that they put together a version of this that you can play on Steam. Let's see if he's at about 1,100. See if I got this set right. He's 1,000. Oh, look at that. I am very, very close with this solution. See, and the funny thing is I'll probably still miss. It's like, what? We'll see, though. It all remains to be seen. We'll open tubes 1 and 2. I'll go 11 feet of depth. They'll run deep enough to go underneath of a 15-foot keel. They run 6 feet deep. Deeper than you set them for, because these are still the Mark 14 early work pieces of crap. He's getting to where I'm going to want to shoot at him. I'll take one more set of readings. .30 degrees, that puts him at 60. Yeah, this is a good solution, man. For sure. I'll hit him at 20. Well, 25. I'm not going to have time. I need some time. The range will be a smidge less. Not that much less, though. Crap. When they're this close, they fly by. Even at slow speed. Degrees would be 75. Let's go 2.5. Let's go 2 degrees left. Come on, man. There are. I'm a man of opportunity. Look at how. Okay, I see. That first one's on target. Look how long it took me to get the second torpedo going. Oh, that looked like it cracked him in half. Did you see the crack appear? He's destroyed. There goes the lifeboats. If that hadn't cracked him in two, the second torpedo was also on target. And until that ship actually sinks, I got credit for destroying this thing, but there's still a gunner on the back. See this guy sitting there? If I were to surface right now, thinking, okay, he's destroyed, he'll start taking pot shots at you. So we'll give this thing a minute to sink. You look at torpedoes. Well, I don't have to worry about that just yet. Let's tally up this little 1600 tonner. Plus 1632. My 63rd ship sunk. $317,069. Nice. 17th ship of this patrol. So 71,219 plus 1632. 72,851 tons. Let's refresh this and update that. How you doing, Cossack? Well, you know, yes. It's better than World of Warships on a lot of levels, except variety. In World of Warships, you have carriers, you have submarines, which are not well done, but they're there, and then you have destroyers and battleships. I mean, there are hundreds and hundreds of ships that you can command if you own them. So it's hard to say it's, you know, it's better on the overall experience. This is far more realistic. This is much more fun.
Yes, sir. Blow ballast.
I'll go ahead and surface. Give my guys the command to resume course. And I'll erase the doodles that I used to orchestrate this mayhem. Look how long of a journey this was. How many torpedoes do I have left? Enough to stay out. So it's good to see you, Cossack Games. And man, I absolutely love this game, man. I have a ton of fun playing it. The nuclear submarines are something else, man. Modern submarines, and just think, whatever coolness you think you're learning, they're way cooler than that, because a lot of what those things can do is very classified. Very classified. Okay, let me make sure that my surface search radar is active. I will do a save game that I'm on patrol. Resume. This is true. And that's why, I don't know, what do I do, Cossack? I mean, I just had this discussion with Jedi. As people come through my chat at night, I'm just kind of polling them on ideas. I'm out of ideas. There are no good games out there. To enjoy the gaming experience, you literally got to go back into the time machine 17 years to find something worth playing. And that sucks in its own way. I'm going to go to Rabal if I make it that far without expending my torpedoes. I want to go to the Bismarck Sea. Look, there's a friendly task force. Oh, I got a radar contact. What's the weather? Oh, smooth seas, clear skies, no storms. Let's go straight north.
Yes, sir.
I'm already at standard speed. Making 17 knots at standard speed is phenomenal. That's because of just how gentle. Oh, you know what? Let me put a mark down. And I gotta make a note here, chat. That's 0101 hours. I'm gonna use the radar for however long I can here. Alright, I gotta make him appear again. There he is. Oh, there's a bunch of them. They covered 2.2. They're doing 9 knots also, I think. So they covered 2.2 nautical miles in 15 minutes. 8.8 knots, so a little measurement error here. They're doing 9 knots. That's the important thing. And there's 2 of them. And I know because of radar that they're on this plot line. That's going to be a very accurate plot. So, let's go to that point there. Maintain current orders. What was that bearing? 033. They're over here. That's not where they're at.
Ship spot on it.
Should be off to my left. Let's see how far out they are. I think too far for that.
Ship
Okay.
spotted.
Maintain current orders.
Yes, sir. All stop.
What I'll do is I'll order it to stop so I get rid of that bow wake. I'm looking from the bridge and I'm trying to see where those guys are. Are they to my left? My lookouts have got him. I see him on radar. Okay, let's save attack. Air scrubblers, recyclers, underwater for days. Shit, they go underwater for months, half a year at a time, 3 to 6 months. And oxygen, I'll tell you, they're probably doing electrolysis. They basically have unlimited electricity on a nuclear submarine. They only have to refuel the things every 20 years. It's utterly amazing, dude. The nuclear submarines are utterly amazing. What's funny is other superpowers have tried to keep up with the United States and failed miserably. Russia, China, nobody can build a navy like we have the technology. What? Oh, I see. It's because I'm drifting. Let's see if I can find these guys. There we go. Let me get the binoculars out. Let's see if I can use these binoculars to get any more detail. Are they too far for binoculars? No. Okay, so I'm going to go to periscope depth.
Yes, sir. Periscope depth.
You know, there is a YouTube channel and a Twitch channel called Sub Brief. All one word. You should follow him. He's a former attack class submarine sonar operator. And so he's very knowledgeable about this, and it's just always on. He's got all these pre-recorded videos. They just run on loop. And if you go to the YouTube, of course, you can actually just go pick the one you want to watch. But sometimes I just enjoy just relaxing. And I pull it up and learn about different stuff. He looks at Chinese ships. He looks at Russian ships. He looks at American ships. And, okay, we're at periscope depth here. Let's go commence our attack. Oh, look at this crap. I keep forgetting to turn that off after an attack. That right there is a tanker. I have to try to figure out what kind of tanker that is. It's really good content. he does a really good job. Is that a small engine aft, actually? I bet you that's what it actually is. I get fooled when I see they have the, you know, the funnel in the back. I'll identify that as that. One, tall funnel in the rear, and two, upside down U-shaped masts up front. Let's try to find that ship. No, it's not going to be a large modern tanker by any means. It could be this guy. That's what it is. A medium old tanker. So he's my primary objective here, because he's so much of a bigger target. His draft is 21 feet. I have him pinged at about 3,000 yards. He's probably about like this with me for now. I know his speed is 9. I have to add 45 degrees to 20 would be 65, so it actually would be 35. So I'm going to be looking on a bearing of about 20 degrees left. I can leave the periscope up at this point. Not worried about them seeing at that range. We'll ping him. 2,500, is that right? Real close. I've got a really, really good fix on him. 2,900 I know not to be accurate. 2,500 is more accurate. I'm 340, so from dead ahead I'm 20 degrees left, plus I'm also another 45, that's a total of 65, so he's still at this angle. World War II was kind of the golden age if you think about it. His YouTube, by the way, is sub-brief, all one word, S-U-B. I think it's a second B, R-I-E-F. You could try sub-brief with one B, but I think it's with two. I'll actually go look really quick. It's two B's. S-U-B-B-R-I-E-F. And his name is two words, but he's at sub-brief is one word. So yeah, it's, yeah, I've got to follow on him too. Amazing how much enjoyment I get out of even his Twitch stream. His Twitch stream is the same name, and his Twitch stream is just friggin' incredibly cool. Anyway, that ship is 4,800 tons. Draft is 2,100 minus about 4 would be 16 feet. Open tube 1. Tube 2. Open tube 2. 16 feet of running depth. I'm going to get another read on him, which I'll confirm later. 2275. I'm now 15 plus 45 would be 60 degrees, so he'd be at about 60 angle on bow, if my math on that is right. Fire. And then I'm going to go confirm 2,200 feet. Or 2,200 yards. Should be right about here. Yeah, I'm super close. That'll probably be a hit. Then what I'm going to do is release that target This isn't that small engine aft. Small old engine aft. I need a running depth of about 11 for that guy. I gotta calculate this super fast and fire a shot. God dang it, get this view up. He's gonna be... I'm gonna just throw a dart here because I don't have time. Fire.
2-1. Torpedo in the water.
So I fired one torpedo at each of these two targets. And... using time compression. This one right here looks like it's going to be a hit. That one would have been a miss, because that would have hit by now. Come on, get him. Sick him, boy. Nice hit. That's going to slow him down. It might even destroy him. Yep, he's destroyed. So now, we'll raise the periscope. And we'll go try to get this other guy again. I don't know, maybe I got the depth set wrong. Where is he? There he is. Lock target. We'll go 14 feet. Because I might have ran under... Open the torpedo tube. You gotta be quick about this stuff. He's gonna start to maneuver. That's incorrect. His height is going to be more about here. Probably about here on that guy. It thinks he's going 1 knot. Yeah, right. I'll plug in 8 though. He's relative is 15 degrees. Let's see if I got that range right while I lower the periscope. Okay, so he's about 1,380 yards. 1,400. I'm off by about 100 yards. Let's get this periscope up. You know what? Does he have to dodge that guy? No, that guy's sunk already. There's the survivors you can kind of see.
2-2 ready, sir.
So he's doing a zigzag pattern. One of the ways I can accommodate that is artificially plug in a slower speed. No, I'm going to plug just 8 knots instead of 9. Let me correct his range. He's on his right rudder now, so what I like to do is when I see him shifting to his left, kind of predict where he'll be a little bit. Man, he's just flat out coming towards me. Almost looks like he wants to ram. Shoot, check it out. He's actually... I'm on his port bow right now. He's not trying to ram. He's within 1,000 meters real easy. Is he gonna... I'm waiting to see which direction he ends up going, because he's super close. I'll be able to... I'm gonna nail him. He's coming back to being, you know, pretty much in front of me. God, this is gonna be a good solution. Let's see if this snapshot does it. My periscopes are down. I'm going to
Yes,
go
sir.
ahead 2/3,
That's slow.
full left rudder. Oh my god, his speed is slow, but I might still get him. This is the Jedi. You're right. I mean, this game excites my imagination in that exact way because it's terrifying. It's terrifying to be a submariner and having destroyers come at you. It's terrifying to be on the ship and just see these bubbles coming towards your ship. They got lookouts out there. That was a good hit on the bow. That's going to slow him down. That's going to make my hunt a little easier.
Yes, sir. Rudder. Rudder.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to go midships here and continue ahead at 2/3. I want to see what effect that has on his speed. Oh, you know what I want to do? I could cheat with that X. I know war is horrible, dude. It's a horrendous thing. It's just so stupid. But you have to do it, you know? I don't see a gun on the bow, and I don't see a gun on the stern. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save game attack in case this goes pear-shaped. Lower the periscopes.
Yes, sir. Hard to starboard.
Low ballast.
Yes, sir.
1/3 speed ahead, midships.
Rudder.
Alright, crew. Man the deck gun. Aim for the waterline. Why are they not manning the deck gun?
Yes, sir. Man the deck gun.
There they go. Fire at will.
Yes, sir. 2-1 ready, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All stop.
Just let my crew do the gunning. It's sinking on its own. He's down by the bow, but because he doesn't have... the enemy doesn't have a gun, I'm just going to surfish because it's night. I don't have to worry about aircraft, and I know there's no destroyers here. Hell yeah. Give him hell, boys. That ship is going down. I could save my ammo and stop shooting. But it's real exciting for the crew. It's good for morale to surface and use that deck gun once in a while. I got the engine stopped. Man, I'm telling you, man, I've read the books. Books by the real Richard O'Kane, who served on the Wahoo, and then got his own command of the Tang, which ironically, when he got command of the Tang and left the Wahoo was sunk on its next war patrol. Enemy unit destroyed. Ironically, Richard O'Kane's own ship, the USS Tang, was also sunk, but he was in very shallow waters at the time and his crew escaped, went into Japanese captivity. Okay, so let's take a look. Let's tally that big bad 4893 tonner. Plus 4893. That's my 18th ship this run. I'm up to 77,744 tons. 744, that is. It's my 64th sinking of my career in this campaign. I gotta add up that total. 317,069 plus 4893. we're now up to 321,962 tons for my career. So that's pretty freaking amazing. The Japanese are brutal to everybody. They were brutal to citizens of occupied countries and territories. They were brutal to POWs. They were brutal to the enemies that they fought. If you study the history of Japan, the history of Japan is solid warfare. It's a tiny island, and yet they found a way to have 15 different Japanese nations within Japan always killing each other in the most brutal of ways. Japan was an ultra-violent civilization for all of its existence. Up until the time that we nuked them. It literally took the only 2 nuclear weapon blasts, in the history of mankind to finally bring an end to this ultra-violent society. And speaking of preferring to drown, their propagandists had all of their citizens and all the people involved into thinking that as ugly as the Japanese were in World War II, the Americans were even worse. So the Japanese, you probably have seen historic footage of these, Japanese civilians where Americans are coming in to occupy a territory after evicting the Japanese and defeating the soldiers there, jumping off of cliffs to kill themselves. They were that afraid of Americans, but in places where they didn't have cliffs to jump off of, they found themselves being fed and watered and given medical attention, and they couldn't believe it. And when the Japanese, it was unknown to the Japanese that humans could be that kind to each other, for the most part. Other than ones that traveled abroad, diplomatic families that, got to live in the United States and other Western nations as a part of their, diplomatic existence. So there were times when the crews of these submarines would sink the just civilians. And a lot of times they were Koreans or, other nationalities. They weren't even Japanese civilians, but they were told such horrible stories about Americans, which were, of course, lies, that their ships would be sunk and they'd swim away. Our guys would try to rescue them. We'd try to give them life rafts, put food on it for them. Our guys tried to do what they could to save human lives once we destroyed war materiel. Because that's the way Americans were, especially back then. I think the Americans would fight with a lot more cruelty now than they did then. But back then, that actually happened. Now, if you look at these submarines, there are these little half-moon shaped holes throughout the side of the ship. These are called limber holes. And I remember reading a story in declassified war patrol reports about how these Japanese were on a fishing boat that had been sunk, or some other small watercraft. They swam over to the submarine, but instead of climbing aboard and surrendering to the Americans and being rescued, they tried to hide in these limber holes. They climbed in to these limber holes to try to hide there, which is an amazing act of ignorance, because they didn't even know that this ship could sink itself. To them, it was a boat that had these little cubby holes. It looked like a place that they could put their shoes or sandals. So they swim up to this thing thinking they could just hide in there as a stowaway and then re-emerge later somewhere safe. So what the commander of the submarine did is an emergency ballast blast, which fills all those limber holes with escaping high-pressure air and blew this stowaway out of this vessel. Because, it would be cruel to submerge knowing that there's people in your submarine on the outside of the pressure hole that are going to die. So they used high-pressure air to blow them out of those limber holes by blowing the ballast of an already surfaced submarine. Hilarious story. I swear to God, I'm going to reread all those declassified War Patrol reports again and make a note of exactly what submarine that was and what war patrol it was. It is hilarious, dude. I mean, imagine reading, and a lot of the reading is just boring page after page, but it's what I would do at night on my laptop. Maybe 15, 17 years ago, back when I was into this game. And when I read that story, dude, I about fell out of my bed laughing. I honestly, I just simply could not believe it. So... But as far as all the Axis powers being on a par with the Japanese, I'm going to say no. I think the Russians, the Soviets, were far more brutal than the Japanese. Far more brutal. And did the most unspeakable things that you could ever imagine. The Japanese did unspeakable too, so they were kind of on a par with each other. The Soviets and the Japanese were awful. The Germans really weren't that bad. In fact, if you read about American airmen that were shot down over Germany, Goering and other Luftwaffe commanders, they actually... Stahlluft, they actually had special prisoner of war camps for our airmen because Goering and the other Luftwaffe commanders did not want our airmen mistreated in the same way that guys that were captured on the ground and went into garden variety. They got better food, they got better treatment, they were treated with respect. And part of that is because the German Luftwaffe, a lot of their commanders, Goering himself, came from, an old Prussian family. He came from their higher social castes, like lords and barons and stuff like that. They came from the aristocracy of Germany and Prussia. So a lot of those commanders and officers felt that British airmen probably also weren't going to be just put down in the trenches. They were a higher social class of people, and they were treated like that, even if they weren't. So certainly airmen were treated with a higher degree of respect. They were considered higher class, more respectable soldiers in World War II. This is true. You can actually Google search it. It's I learned about World War II from the air side of it before I learned about the naval side or the ground war side, because when I was 14 years old, our family in that particular year was having hard times financially, but at Christmas they did manage to marshal enough money to get me a few odd gifts. Not like Christmases in the past, which were just fill rooms with presents. And I'm not exaggerating. But the year that I was 14, I got a book that was an autobiography of Chuck Yeager, who was a P-51 pilot in World War II. And reading his autobiography, I got this autobiography, and it's like, this is like a history book. This is more like school. I don't know. I'd never read a biography before. And so I was skeptical. I loved to read, but I didn't think I was going to like reading that. But I didn't know is that book was going to put me on a lifelong journey of learning about World War II and the men that fought it. And the first man to survive flying an aircraft past the sound barrier and not be killed by it. That was Chuck Yeager. So, yeah, amazing. World War II is just utterly amazing. And that's why I love World War II so much. It started when I was a teenager. And okay, gentlemen. Let's go to the deck gun, have that crew come inside. No use being out there, there's nothing to shoot at. Return to course, how much fuel, battery, we're looking good everywhere. I still have torpedoes. We're not going home with torpedoes in stowage. We're going to sink some ships. It's been such a massively successful patrol. I literally just keep going back here to Tulagi, rearming and coming out here and just sinking shit like crazy. But how fast is this friendly task force? Medium? I wonder if I'm going to be able to catch that task force. Let's go turn the radar on. No, no, no. I was a teenager when I started learning about World War II. Oh my God. My dad, who would turn 93 in just a few weeks, he was a teenager in World War II. Shit, I'd be 90 plus years old. I don't know how old I want to live to be, by the way. I wish my dad was still alive, though. His mother, my grandmother, lived to be more than 93 years old. Gosh, I keep running into ships to sink. Let's turn just a little bit left of the course here. I'll do a save as attack. And what time is it? Oh, 5:35 hours. Let me return to course. Oh, another 2 ships. Ah, son of a gun, I screwed up again, you guys. I gotta remember, I'm gonna plot the lead ship. The time is 05:53 hours. Gotta make a note. 05:53, that's Mark II. Where's Mark I? Do I have a doodle laying around somewhere that I forgot to erase? Well, I'm not gonna worry about it. So let's slow down to 2/3 speed. Okay, I'm going straight at him. And it is starting to get light out, so while they're still hull down, I can't see him at all, but my lookouts have, they've spotted him. I like your attitude. Think about what an eloquent way to put it, Jedi. Are you a closet writer? I only want to live until the satisfaction of life is outweighed by the pain of existence. That's beautiful. I could literally end my stream right now and just contemplate that for the rest of the night. Alright, let me go to periscope depth.
Yes, sir. Periscope depth.
I'll put a mark on that lead ship. A 559, that's not a lot. But we'll do what we can with that. They traveled about 0.9. 0.9 in 6 minutes. That's not a very accurate sample. That puts them at exactly 9 knots, though, as a 9.0, so I'm kind of happy with that. Why is this going crazy? Holy cow. Once I get underwater here, periscope depth, which is right now, I'm going to turn left 90 degrees.
Yes, sir. New course. 2, 1. Yes, sir.
I'm going to draw a plot line. Well, I can actually just edit this plot line. Then once they get close, I'm going to want to be within a mile. Let's plot. Well, I'm going to go a half a mile. It's 1,000 yards. I have a very, very accurate plot on these ships, so I really don't need to, I don't need a margin of safety right now. I'm at periscope depth. Everything's hunky-dory. I'm just going to use time compression.
Yes, sir.
I'll stop and drift. With time compression on, we'll let those guys zoom in. Okay, now that they're at about, I don't know, my angle on bow, probably 110, 120 degrees off my starboard bow. I'm going to go up and take a look and see what they are. My guess is they're right about here. I was right. That's a good target. That's a less than good target. So, also, does he have a gun? I'd love to sink this ship and then find out this guy's unarmed so I can surface and use my deck gun on him. Alright, we're going to be using stern tubes. Let's open them all up. I'll plug in 9 knots of speed. I'm looking at him at about 120. From 180 is 60, so I'm going to have him at about 30 degrees angle on bow starboard. And we'll let the position keeper start. He's at 120 relative. Actually, he's more like 110 to 115, but this will still be fine. Okay, 1,400 meters? Is he that close? Yeah, he sure in the hell is. That's a great way to get the distance, though. I could picture you being kind of poetic. You know, you got, like I said, you have ADHD. I know you've told me that before. And people with things like autism and ADHD, they have a brilliant mind that the rest of the world can't possibly understand. So there's no use trying to explain it to them. Oh, hang on a minute. I don't want to do that yet. I gotta get this thing figured out. My best friends all my life have been ADHD people. They're the coolest people on the frickin' planet. It's almost not even worth making friends with someone if they're not ADHD. Nah, I don't mean to say that. Everybody's cool. My goodness, what a shot I'm gonna have on this guy. Okay, 180 from 130 would be 50. From 90 would be 40. We'll wait till he gets a little bit closer. He should be within about 1,200. Was I hearing shots? For some odd reason, I mean, let me look and see if these guys got guns. I'm going to cheat. I'm going to pretend I looked at my pairs. Yeah, he's very armed. What about this chump? Nah, he's armed too. Son of a gun. Oh well. Where'd he go? Oh, they're behind to the right. What am I doing? I forgot I got this. They're set up for stern shots. Okay, I'm just going to measure on the plotting board. These torpedoes are going to have, I don't know, about a 650, 700 meter run. So I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to go 20 degrees here, which means 160 degrees here. I'm going to put in 700 meters for range. That's going to be super, super close. I'll leave speed 9. My torpedo angles, man. Everything is perfect. Alright. 24 feet minus about 4. I gotta set the depth to 20 feet. Torpedo tubes are already open. I'm gonna spend 3 torpedoes on him. And I'm gonna have tube 10 set up for 7 feet of depth. Contact pistol only. And we're ready to fire on a 160 relative. Oh shit, fire! He's right there. I'm gonna fire 1 shot at the first main mast. The second I'll fire at the funnel. And the third I'll fire pretty quickly between these 2 masts. Alright, let's go watch the handiwork. That's always the fun part. so close that you just can't miss. Magnetic influence, kick that one off at the right time. Where's the next trop? There it comes. And then the third one, the 2 hits aft, I would hope would slow him down. Did I blow off his propellers? No, they're still there. And he's still making speed, holy cow. So what I might do in this case... No, he's getting low in the water and he's slowing down. Let me take a shot at this guy. Damn, I can't get this set right. You want it at the waterline. Let's find one with a tall funnel aft. I already know it's an old split. Where the hell? Why am I into fishing boats and all that crap? Not that. Yeah, that. That's it. Small old engined aft. Alright. Let's measure his range. I'm 10, 20, 25 degrees there, so probably 65 here. They'll still be making 9 knots. That unit's destroyed. I'm going to take one more reading here, and then I'm going to fire. And I'm going to be firing midships before he starts. He hasn't started a zigzag maneuver, at least not very aggressively. Fire. And he's armed, so I can't surface and blast him. Let's see how we did with that torp. I'll use time compression here for a minute or so.
2-7, ready, sir.
Yeah, we're gonna get him. Oh, damn! Catastrophic engine room hit. Did you hear the sound of that explosion? Let's look at my torpedoes. God. I'm going to be down to 6 front, 4 aft. I'm down to 10 torps. That was a biggin'. I'm waiting for him to finish sinking to surface, because those gunners will shoot at you right up until the time that there's no ship to hang on to anymore. We'll just go ahead,
Yes,
2/3.
sir. Ahead slow.
Make it standard.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, these graphics for 17 years ago. And, you know, every time, you know, Silent Hunter 5, which came out after this one, was just an absolute dud. And it's too bad, too, because they kept trying to make things different, new, and unique. You didn't have to do that. You just had to kind of modernize what you had before. Maybe make the AI better, make the graphics better, make it work with the current generation of monitors. Just do simple stuff like that. This game is that much fun. Maybe an improved multiplayer experience, whatever. So... yeah, the water effects, the reflections, the shimmer, it's insane. And just think, on stream, which I'm streaming at 4K, you know, for the letterbox, it's actually, I'm playing in 1920 by 1080, but you're not seeing it at 1080p, you're seeing it at 1440p, so it's actually you know, stretched out, like zoomed out, like you zoomed in on it, which normally you lose some quality. Even after doing that, it just looks breathtaking. Naturally, it could be improved, but... Alright.
Yes, sir.
Let's blow the ballast. Let's get back up top. Here she comes. Just out of the deep, man. This actually happened in the war. This was a marvel of technology at the time. That they could take this weapons platform.
Ship spotted. Bearing 179. Medium range.
It sees another ship. Oh! He's not dead yet. Wow.
Yes, sir. Man, the take cover.
2-8.
There it goes. That did it. Man, that ship was 3/4 of the way underwater. How in the world was that ship not considered a kill? When I surfaced, it did ship spotted, and it just confused the hell out of me. I'm like, there's no way that that ship is still alive. Then I looked on the plot, and sure enough, the game was showing it as a living ship. This is my kind of strategy game, man. I don't know what I'm going to do with myself when the war ends. Because honestly, as fun as it is, I don't want to go through and replay it again. I do want to do something else. Okay, we're going to go to Rabaul in the Bismarck Sea. I actually... This is a friendly task force. And this is what I want to do tonight. I want to intercept this friendly task force and then sail around with it a little bit. And do a little bit about what the early submarine doctrine would have dictated. Work with the surface vessels and help them in combat. I want to see if they actually go into combat somewhere. If they encounter Japanese, will they start to gun at each other, you know? Don't end the war then, just let a few ships pass. I tell you what, by the end of the war... Our submarines were no longer a weapons platform. They weren't. There was nothing to shoot at. The Japanese merchant marine was decimated. They got to the point where they were paddling rafts, because that's all they had left. Okay, that's a little bit of an exaggeration. I'm not far off. They did start to utilize them as rescue vessels for downed airmen. Because, you know, World War II was largely fought in the air. And on the ground. And in the sea, of course, we had to have a navy or we couldn't have pulled it off, but there were very, very, very few naval engagements. And what naval engagements did take place were actually the aircraft carriers, airplanes fighting enemy naval units. So, yeah. Nonetheless, I want to see if I can catch up with that. Is that an aircraft contact? Yes, it is. So, let me do something here a minute. I'm going to save game as patrol. Just so I have a, you know, a save point. Well, let's see if they ignore me. They should. They look far away. Uh-oh.
Yes, sir.
Engage the target.
Man the flak gun. Yes, sir. Firing at will. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Firing
See if
at
they
will.
get him.
Yes, sir.
My gunner's missed. He missed me.
Hard to starboard.
Missed me. Now you gotta kiss me. I wish I could actually man the flat gun. But you can't see anything because, you know, it blocks your view. Wait, see like that? It blocks your view. You can't even look down your sight. It's broken. Where is this thing? He's off to my left side somewhere. See that? If I'm looking up for him, I can't even see him unless he's straight up. The Age of Fighting Sail. I'll see if I can find it for you, Jedi. When I was a teenager
Aircraft
in...
spotted.
Hang on a second, what's going on here? Okay, he's coming back. There he is.
Yes, sir. Firing at will.
Yes, sir. Hard to port. Yes, sir.
My guys are shooting at him. Get him, boys. They got him. Boom! That's it for the Japanese plane.
Yes, sir. Ahead standard. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, save game, patrol. I gotta do some scorekeeping here, don't I? So I gotta take credit. But anyways, I did this report, and it was about the Age of Fighting Sail. There was a game that I used to play with my friends in middle school, in my early high school years, called Wooden Ships and Iron Men by Avalon Hill. Can't get the game anymore, and that's tragic. It's an amazing game. And I have a picture. I did a report on the Age of Fighting Sail that, you know, I wasn't well known as an orator when I was in school, but I'll never forget giving the oral presentation with this big poster that I had made where I basically, using markers, I colored my own British ship of the line, you know, with the sails and the guns, 3 gun decks. It was sweet. It's one of my favorite pieces of art. I don't even know if I still have that. I think it's gone. If I have it, I don't know where it is. I have a picture of it, though. God, if I could find that, I swear to God, I'd put it on the wall. What a memory. Let's go take credit for an aircraft shot down. Just sick of dealing with them. I decided to kill one for a change. And I just scored 2 more ships. My God. 66 ships total. Let me add this up. Plus 7171 tons, plus 1628 tons, another one of those. My new total, 330,000 tons, 761. I have sunk 20 vessels on this war patrol. So 77, 744, let's add to that. 71 tons, let's add to that another 1628 tons. For a patrol total of 86,543. Wow. Good stuff, chat. There are a lot of good movies made about that Age of Fighting Sail, though. And as far as just chilling out at night reading on the internet, you could look up and learn so much about that era. One of the things that I find most fascinating about it is how they acquired their crew. Master and Commander, exactly. It's the name I was trying to think. With Russell Crowe, right? So, Okay, is everything under control here? Yes, it is. It's very under control. All of that to deal with that stupid aircraft. We're back on patrol. Let me save it just to be doubly sure that I got it saved. This is just, you know, when you think about modern society, you know what they actually did to get their crews for those ships? They're looking for me. There's more planes. Let me maintain current orders. Okay, I got a crash dive. I don't want to sit and fight all these planes all day. We're going to crash dive, flank speed ahead, take a 90-degree left turn.
Yes, sir. Ahead flight.
Did I not get the crash dive order in? I didn't because I was paused at the time.
Yes, sir. Ahead 1/3.
And then we'll head due west. What time is it? Oh, it's early in the morning. Wouldn't you know it? Surface? God, the planes are just aggressive as hell. Garden Glove Man, welcome to the channel. Thank you for the follow. You have the distinction of being, I think, maybe the second person to follow me since I started streaming this game, Silent Hunter 4. So, glad to have you on board, man. Crash dive again.
Crash dive. Yes, sir. Hard disarmor.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
I'm going to go back to 1/3 speed. Cruising around. Return to course. These planes are going to hound me.
Current speed.
I'll slow to 2 knots just so I have enough battery to get through the day because it's 900 hours there. It's super early in the day. I'm going to stay underwater for a little while here. Let me try to surface here. It said the battery's recharged. I'm going to erase this plot line. I'll see if I can find those friendlies on radar. No, I don't think that task force is anywhere near me. More airplanes!
Yes, sir.
Crash dive. What time is it? It's 1700. I have a full can though, so I can just maintain 1/3 once I'm down. Okay, we're underwater. Go back to time compression. Let's zip through the daytime here. Surface, speed 3. Okay, we're in the area of Rabal. I don't know who possesses it at this stage of the war, to be honest, but it's probably enemy. I'll find out soon enough because I'll start detecting friendly destroyers and ships and stuff in here. So where should I go? Towards New Guinea? Yeah, we'll look for some coastal shipping through here. That should be enough to keep me busy for a little while. What is it? 0-24 hours, so... Let me double check to make sure... Dang it, this is shut off because I did the aircraft dodge. Oh, there's ships over there. Bearing 300, where would that be on plot? Oh, I know what it is. My radar is picking up the ships that are docked at Rabal. Oh, this sucks. The seas have gotten rough. No bueno. Wow. Alright, you guys. There they are, too. You can see them sitting here. I'm going to put markers on him. Come on, man. Light up, pencil. They're moving. They're moving. Okay. And they're not close enough. Oh, yes. Oh. These are troop transports. Hell yeah. Let me do this. I'm going to mark them on plot. There's a destroyer escorting these two. Let me mark the... Well, not the destroyer. I don't want to mark him. It's getting hella nautical out here. Oh boy. Target rich environment. Let me mark the time. 0:41 hours. Mark 5 and Mark 4. I'm in a dead wreck and I'm going to figure out their speed. There's a lot of stuff here for me to do. This is going to be kind of high skill. This, I don't know what to do here. I have plenty of fuel. Let's go up to full speed. And let me erase some of these other plot points. I wished I hadn't put so many of them down. Because what I want to do is see where this ship is going. If he's going to come through to the east, I can set up to ambush him pretty easy. This is going to be great for a night surface attack. I almost have to do this on the surface because of how violent the seas. Look at my ship. This ship has got probably about a 12 or 18 degree roll or more. It's rough. We're going to go ahead full speed. I'm going to head this way. I'll use time compression here a minute. Oh, that is going to be so risky going into that harbor area. What time is that? I gotta pull up my note. 0:41, 0:51. And there's this destroyer just totally patrolling around out there. Alright, so here's what I gotta do. From Mark 4... And here's what I need to make a note of. It's 01:05 hours. Which is 24 minutes. Then I'm going to go to my calculator. I'm going to plug in 24 minutes of travel. The distance in the one case was 4.9 nautical miles. And that was Mark 5. That's 12 knots. And then Mark 4 covered 4.7 nautical miles in the same time, so obviously a little slower. 11.75, so I'll just put a note on that one that one's 11 knots. They're very close in speed. Spicy food is awesome, dude. The spicy noodles sounds real good, but you know what I eat at nighttime? Literally every night, and it gets me through the night in terms of, you know, sleeping and not waking up hungry in the middle of the night going, now what do I do? I always make enchiladas, soft shell tacos, refried beans. The key here is it's refried beans and cheese. Maybe I'll roll them, maybe I'll wrap them, maybe I'll fold them. I'll just do different things with it. And then maybe some salsa verde to go with it. Gosh dang, man. This is what I want right here.
Yes, sir. All stop.
God, this thing is just going crazy on me. Taking this shortcut could be fatal, so I'm actually going to save game as attack. So I have a checkpoint to come back to. Flank speed. Let's burn some fuel, man. You can almost just make a paste and eat it with a spoon. Fortunately, my teeth are healthier than that, and I don't need to eat my dinner through a straw. I like your idea, though. That's you know, clever. There's so much traffic coming out of Rabaul.
3, 2, 3.
It's not even funny. Wow. Let me do something here a minute. That is a tanker. It's big stuff. It's big stuff. That's what's out here at Rabaul. Oh, and it's shallow-ass water, though. And there's 2 of them there. Are you kidding me? What's this other ship? It won't let me see it from there. I'm just gonna... Well, I can draw the waypoint. That'll be fine. What is this ship? Unknown medium. I'm gonna erase these doodles. They mean nothing to me anymore. And the question is, I wonder if I've been spotted. I'm within 4 miles of him. Let's go to binoculars. I'm gonna put him at maybe 340. Yeah, there he is. Let's slow down to standard speed. I don't know if he's made me yet. I don't think he's made me. And you know, the odd thing is, I don't know if he's too far for the deck gun. And honestly, I think a torpedo shot wouldn't make it to him. The torpedo would converge about here. Yeah, it would be an impossible shot. But what could work is there's a group of 2 coming out here. There's a group of 2 coming out here. This is target rich. It's 0130 hours, so I could... Here's what I'm going to do, though. This right here sends a contact report, and that sends a radio report. I'm going to shadow him for a little while. What I'm looking to do is intercept some of these ships that are coming out of Rabaul. Maybe in this area here. I think they're going to follow a path about like this coming out of there, and probably somewhere in this area. Or maybe further out. I'll be able to set up to attack them. I'm too late to get those guys. So that's what we'll do right now. I'm slowing down to 9 knots because this guy I know is going 11 or so. He'll stay out ahead of me. Alright, let's use time compression. Yeah, there's destroyers escorting those. So those are going to be the big tankers. There's so many good targets here. It's just insane. Look at all of those ships. Let's erase this mark. Gonna have to catch him. I really need to be able to speed up is what I need to do. About like this is about what my plan is. Because I think they're gonna pass by in this little window here. Let me speed up to full speed. It's just I don't want to catch up with that guy because I don't want him to spot me and report my position. And I'll turn off time compression here once I go down. I'll go to 1/3 speed. In fact, I'm actually going to pause it here. I'll go to 1 speed. It's 0219 hours. Let's erase all these notes. I don't need those anymore. 02, 19 hours. And I don't know what mark it's going to be. Let's wait for the next sweep of my radar over here, right? Right here is the lead ship. And that's going to be Mark 7. Okay, back to time compression. And I want to see a radius here. I'm probably going to encounter them about there. Oh god, I'm getting close. $224. I want to go to at least 0229, if not 0234 hours, before giving up my radar. 227, that's good. 227 is probably going to give me Mark 8, right? No, I'm going to do it this way. 1.3 nautical miles. God, just 2 more minutes. I don't think I can do that. That's risky. I'm getting within 2 miles of them. Frick. I'll do it. 8 minutes, right? 1.3. It won't be that accurate, but it'll ballpark me. That's 9.75 knots, so they're probably doing 10 knots. They're doing 9 to 10 knots. That's the speed that I'll have on them.
Yes, sir.
I don't want to risk getting. Oh, they might have already seen me. They look like they're dodging. Son of a gun, man. Frick, I blew it. There's just that 2 seconds of doing this math. I'm still going to try the attack.
Yes, sir. Head full.
Being shot at. Let's stretch this out. I think they're going to come through here. Son of a gun, I got spotted. I knew I was within 3 miles. It's your risk of that.
Current depth 40.
Uh-oh. One thing I gotta see is how deep it is here. 1,381 feet below keel. It's deep. I'm in the deep. I was afraid I was too close to the shore. I see 1 row of ships going through here and 1 row going through here, so I really want to go to just about here and then I'll drift. They did see me. Yeah, I can tell because I don't know if you heard the sound or not, but I was being shot at. It was going, you could hear the shells. They were shooting at me with deck guns. The water is calmer over here, so that's good. So you can see the ships now. I'm using the outside view to kind of make it fun. And that right there is a big ass tanker. But I think he's got a 28-foot. I'm gonna just point at the. That's the stern of the ship. Is he gonna go by in front of me? Maybe he's gonna be really close to in front. He'll probably be 300 meters, is my prediction. I'm just throwing numbers at it. He's probably doing 11 knots, 11 to 12. I'll plug in 11.5. That'll give me a little margin of error either way. And that is a large modern freighter. Tanker, I meant. It's this guy right here. 10,000 tonner. His draft is 28.2 feet. I'll be firing my forward torpedo tubes at him, so I'll get a couple of these set up for about 24 feet of depth. Those will, or 25 even. Those will end up running just below him. Just inside of 25 would be best. And I'll fire 2 torpedoes. Actually, I have a third ready at 16 feet of depth, so that'll run at 20 for contact. And I'll go ahead and open these torpedo tubes. Let's go see what he's doing out there. There he is right there. Okay, he's at about 285 relative. I'll bring this down. Let's go check him out. He's less than 1,100 yards, and he's basically coming straight at me. Okay, so let's go back here. There's the bow of my ship right there. I just like that for reference. I'm going to end up shooting at him about 30 degrees left. That's a good solution right there. He's 800. He is super, super close. Let me go back 2/3.
Yes, sir. Back standard.
Yes, sir.
Because I want to make sure that he passes at least maybe this far out ahead of me. So I just have to back up just a little bit. Alright, I'll stop.
I'll stop.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to be firing at him once he reaches this point. I'm here at the hydrophone station, where I can listen with a, directional underwater microphone, basically. And I can hear his propeller sounds. So he's 800 out still. He's going away from me. Well, I backed up. That's why he's a longer range at this point. Okay, he's starting to come in. Oh, well, you know what I gotta fix? The range on that. I had him at 800. So when he passes, it might be maybe 750-ish. There we go. Hope I got his speed right. It looks like he might be starting to turn towards me a little bit. Let me zoom out. Now I can zoom in and look. Yeah, he's turning towards me. He's kind of got a zigzag going. So I'm going to set up to fire. I bet you he'll be more 355, 350 before he starts to get square again. That range would probably be maybe 700, a little shorter range. I'm going to say he'll maybe, as he's zigging through, he'll probably be 80 degrees, angle off his starboard bow. So 350, I have it set up if he comes out of his zig. If he's in a zag, I'll be able to hit him there. And I'm kind of keeping my periscope right where the waves are just hitting the lens. Yep, he's coming out of his zig. He's in his zag. This is perfect. If I got his speed right, I'm going to get him. I'm going to aim between his island and his #1 mast. With the first shot, I'll fire midships with this other torpedo that's for contact. I'll aim midships with this shot. And for the third shot, I kind of did this the opposite. I'll fire at his stack. Let's go admire my handiwork. Oh, he's slower and he's maneuvering. These two should hit him, though. Yeah, this'll hit him. That's not where the fuel is stored. The second one's going to get him, though. That's going to hit him midships. That's going to be a good hit. It's also going to slow him down. Let's get 4 depth, 18 feet, contact pistol. He's still got some speed, but not too terribly much. We're gonna put him out. There he goes! Explosion! Darcy blows! Now, I would go take credit for it, but look, they keep coming. What ship is that now? Where is he? What is he is what I want to know. Same exact ship. My goodness. So we'll go to 24 feet. Tube 4. 24 feet. For tube 5. 16 feet contact pistol. With tube 6. Come on, take the click. Probably right about here. He could be 1,000 out, right? Yeah, at least. He might be, I don't know, maybe about this angle. He's zigging. I'm going to put his speed at 9.5. No, the other one I shot out ahead of him. Yeah, 9.5 is probably about right. Let's get torpedo tube 4 ready to go. We'll take measurements and I will fire. Compute another quick solution. Torpedo impact? What did it just hit? Oh, you know what that was? I hit the shore with that other torpedo.
2-5. Torpedo in the...
Let's see if these shots... That one's about to hit, I see it. Perfect solution. There's one more torpedo coming. If that slowed him down, that second torp's gonna miss. Where did it go? Where's my other torp? There it is, I see it. It's on target. Oh yeah, it's right there on target. I haven't caught him on fire yet, though. She's being stubborn. Okay, we gotta recompute the new speed, too, because I know that ship is setting deeper in the water than it was before. How fast do you think it's going? 8? Fire.
Firing tube 6. Torpedo in the water.
Let's go follow my little sweetie. With time compression. Where'd you go? Did I lose it? Hang on. Where'd that damn torpedo go? Oh, I lost it. The keys that you have to use to follow with the camera are kind of difficult. Is it there? Oh, I see it. I missed out in front. Plus he's turning. Down by the stern. Okay, I have to look at something else too. Let me go forward at standard speed.
Yes, sir. Ahead standard. Yes.
Because there's 2 ships coming up behind me too, and they're coming straight at me, so... What do I have up front? No more torpedoes up front. So I'll use time compression here for a minute. I'll stop. In fact, I'll even go back a third. Let's get this thing stopped.
Torpedo impact. All stop.
Now that ship is down by the stern. And once I sink those 2 ships that are coming up behind me, his gun is on the bow. So it won't be able to shoot at me if I surface directly behind him. And here come the other 2 ships that are coming up behind me. Another one of those tankers. Oh my god. And then some little dumb Rudy Poot thing that I don't even really worry about. Wow. Let's do a save as. Attack. And you know what I might do for now? Just because I could use time compression to get him in there. I'm going to take a quick minute here to take credit for that tanker that I just sunk. The other one's almost a sure bet that I'm going to sink it. That was 10,013 tons, so that brings up the total for the War Patrol. 96,556 tons. My 21st ship sunk, and I'm definitely going to get that other one. It's just a matter of time. And then previously, I had a career total of 330,761 tons, to which I can add 10,013 tons. For a new total of 340,774 tons. Ship number 67 for my career after 8 war patrols. This is ridiculous. I should have used a higher skill level. I chose normal for 2 reasons. One, just to have some fun, but secondly, I thought I was rustier than I was, and I had cobwebs. Those first few runs, it took a little while, but now I'm down to my routine again. I'm tearing them up. So... that's updated. Alright. Now we can go back to time compression and let these two ships come in behind me here. Before I do that, let's get the rear torpedo tubes ready. At least get them opened up, have them selected, so when I pop my nose out of the water back here, it's going to give me good, accurate information for the torpedo data computer. Okay, excellent. Large, modern tanker, you big beauty, you. Look at that tonnage. He's within 1,000 yards, less than half a mile. Probably 40, 90. Well, it'd be 40, wouldn't it? I'll plug in 45 until I get this better figured out. He's probably doing 9 knots, maybe 10. Plug in 9.5 again. See if this jibes. Yeah, about 800. Let's get ready to shoot at him at 200. Yeah, I need some time. Can I do 225? No, I'm not going to be fast enough for that. We'll do the math here. Okay, so his range will be probably about 800-ish, maybe 775. Speed is 9. I'm looking at him 20 degrees off, so 90 minus 20 is 70. And here he comes. I'm going to do 16 on a contact pistol for tube 7. Tube 8. We'll do 24 feet deep. And then tube 9 again, we'll go 16 feet on a contact pistol. So tube 7 fire.
Torpedo in the water.
And I'm going to aim for his island for tube 8.
Torpedo in the water.
And tube 9, I'm going to fire at his third mast. And then we're going to turn our head around and look at our... oh my god, I way underestimated his speed. Holy shit, look at those misses. Frick, you gotta be kidding me. The third torpedo might actually hit him. The one aimed at his stern is probably going to get him on the bow. Terrible shooting. How about guns? He's got a bow gun and no stern. Oh my god. Terrible. That's so awful. And at that range, too. Unbelievable. His speed's probably friggin' 6 or 7 knots. I'll plug that in for now. This says 3 knots. I'm apt to believe it. I'll fire at 6.
Torpedo in the water.
That was just a point-blank snapshot. I just want to hit one torpedo on this guy. Maybe he is really only going 3 knots. So, here we go. Go get him, my little precious. That started a fire, and a fire on a tanker usually means an explosion. Let's see if she explodes. Let's go this direction.
Yes, sir. Ahead, standard.
Yes, sir.
No, they didn't see me this time, and it's all that flammable goo, man. So that one there I want to finish. I want to finish them both with guns. I'm out of torpedoes. All these targets. And this guy here with a bow gun, I think both of these stricken ships have bow guns only. This guy is slow. Let's see if his propeller's turning. Oh, just barely. They got hamsters on a hamster wheel getting that thing to just kind of lope around. So we'll go 1/3 speed. There's no use burning up battery. He's not getting away very fast out there. Those guys are running away, which is good. Let's see what about a 5 or 6 nautical miles radius looks like.
Torpedo miss, sir. Torpedo miss, sir.
Yeah, there's a lot of those torpedo misses. I'll creep along at 1 knot and shadow this guy.
Miss, sir. Yes, sir. Current speed 0. Yes, sir. New course 30.
What I'm waiting for are these 2 ships to get far enough away not to nail me with deck guns. They're just making good speed. That was a very, very unfortunate. Torque drop on them. They're kind of returning to course.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Midships.
Yes, sir.
Ali.
Yes, sir.
He's kind of hard to follow. He has got a little bit of a zigzag. Okay, I'm going to do a save in case this goes pear-shaped.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Current speed 1. Hard to port. Hard to port.
Pear-shaped isn't bad for women.
Spotted. Bearing 2.
Dated a girl like that
6.
once. It was
All
fun.
range.
There was some fun in it.
Yes, sir. Rudder. Rudder. Yes, sir. All stop.
Start hammering away at this guy point blank. Need to go reverse.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hard to starboard.
Yeah, with the smaller shells, they did okay.
Rudder.
Yes, sir.
Rudder. Ahead stem.
Yes, sir.
Ahead full.
Okay, so he's going to come around to the left a little bit.
Yes, sir. Hard to port. Ahead 1/3. All stop.
They could 5-inch. This is only like a 3 or this is a 4-inch gun, but 5-inch shells that our destroyers used in World War II, they could reload those in 3 seconds flat. God, I'm out of HE. Shit.
Yes, sir. Rudder.
Yes, sir.
Rudder.
Yeah, let's see if I can get him to go down, man. Sucks to be out of torpedoes, out of shells.
Yes, sir. Current speed 2.
Looks like it. There's more fires involved, and the back's down a little lower. The back's actually starting to go in. I've been pounding it, doing what I can.
Yes, sir. All stop. Rudder.
Destroyed. Got him. Yeah, that stern's definitely... The gunfire definitely did the trick, so... Let's go take credit. You know, I'm all about the tonnage. Wow, this is what an amazing run. I'm going to take it back to port, though. So, my new career is 350,812 tons. That was ship number 68. And for this patrol, it was ship number 22. I can take that 96,556. We can add to that 10,038. 106,594 tons. Wow is all I can say. This is amazing. Now let's see if we can get our, get back alive. I'm in dangerous enemy waters, and I'm unarmed.
Yes, sir. Hard to start. Hard to start. Yes, sir.
We'll go hard to starboard. We'll go ahead standard.
Yes, sir.
I'll erase my doodles. I haven't even hardly touched my fuel, but I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll go this way because that route around Raubel is probably a little bit safer. This is a hot spot. And I'm going to go back to Brisbane. Let's get down to the Solomon Sea. First of all, I'm in Bismarck. Got to get through the Solomon and then the Coral Sea. So let's do a save game as patrol, although I'm RTB. You know what I need to do? Let's fire up the radar just so I can see where the enemy is for the purpose of avoiding it. Now, normally you don't want to avoid the enemy, but I'm unarmed. It's 05:18 hours, so it's going to be daylight soon.
Single contact. Bearing 106 long.
It's seeing airplanes. Oh no, it was ships! Look what they did! They came from Raubel to the east, and then they just sunk themselves here. Look at the sinking icons. That's something, that's a glitch, probably because it just didn't know how to handle that much time compression.
Single contact. Bearing 163 long range.
I don't know if those aircraft are going to spot me or not. No, they are not. It's ships again! Maybe it's aircraft flying into that island like it's a building or something. Who knows? There's a glitch. Something's going on there, that's weird. Wow. A task force. I have to avoid that for sure. That's a shame. Look at all of these ships. These are radar contacts. That's why it's allowing me to see them.
Single contact. Bearing 312.
We're going to avoid them, but let's see if I can go look at them. Oh my... Oh, it's an American task force. They're American, look. That looks like a gearing. It's making me want to play World of Warships, to be honest. World of Warships is so arcade and silly and stupid that, you know, even though the graphics are beautiful and it's just the ships are so wonderfully rendered, I mean, they're better than Rebel models. The ships in World of Warships are just so finely detailed, nothing is missed. It's literally like a photograph of the ship to look at it in the game. It's utterly amazing. But it's definitely not worth putting up with the play mechanics of World of Warships. World of Warships isn't worth it. I've been down that road before. Let's look at some of these other American ships. That's a Clemson. That's another... No, that's a cruiser. That is going to be... Golly. With that tripod mount up there... It looks like the Pensacola. That looks like a Benson. That's a carrier. They're going to war and I can't even help them. I'm out of ammo. Some batch. I can go return to course, though. I'm quite certain the Americans won't attack me. So... You know what I gotta do? I gotta turn off that radar for the time being.
Single contact.
Because otherwise I'm gonna keep detecting the ships in that.
35 long range.
And speaking of which, I'll fire off some radio messages of my own. Just to let the ComSub pack know that I've had a very successful war patrol. I'm going to go to 2/3 speed just to make sure I've got enough fuel to get all the way home. Let's see if there's any messages for me. My God, look at all these ships sunk, you guys. February, March. Yeah. If you can't make it home on fuel, you have to just go to an earlier save point, or your career's over. That's it. Your career's over. You know, you got to get back to base. Now, I'm playing at the higher skill levels. If you're a beginner at this game and you're just learning it, you can make it so you have unlimited fuel, unlimited battery, and then you don't have to deal with that in any way, shape, or form. I mean, you can literally fine-tune the level of detail. I'm only 1,000 nautical miles from home. I'll make it there easy on the fuel I have. I could even speed up, but at 8,192 time compression, I'm going to get back to Brisbane pretty damn fast. Your range on a full tank depends on how fast you go. 1/3, 2/3 standard speed. Maybe I could look in my book and see what at standard speed this thing is supposed to do. You know what? I might look like I'm well lit, you know, on stream, but it's dark in here. I can't read this book. Oh. Well, let's put it this way. The distance from Japan to, say, Midway is 3,000 nautical miles. If I were to throw a dart, I would say you can probably go 7 or 8. You know, if you burn your fuel right, I think you can do maybe even as many as 9,000 miles with these. I'm going to look it up in a minute, but if I were just to throw a dart, I would say that you could probably easily make 7,000, 8,000 nautical miles on an ordinary tank of fuel. See, I'm almost back to Brisbane, and I've only burned 1/4 tank, but that's not my whole thing, because remember, I kept refitting at Tulagi. I kept getting more torpedoes. I kept getting more fuel. So I'm going to dock once I get here to Brisbane, though. It's not giving me the option to anchor, so maybe I actually have to drive this in a little bit closer.
Single contact. Bearing.
I burned a lot of fuel on this mission and sank a lot of ships.
291. Long range.
Isn't it giving me the option if I hit escape? No.
Closing. Bearing.
Usually by now it would tell you, hey, do you want to dock here?
1. Long range.
There it goes. My goodness. This is insanely huge. What a patrol this is. Do you want to dock? Yes. It's almost 1 in the morning anyway. I want to get to bed soon. Was my math good? It said I sank 108,000 23 ships. Let me look. I don't think I did this right. Did I miss a ship? 106,594. I must have missed a ship somewhere along the line. So 108,222. I got to do some math here so that I get this all right. I got to take 108,222 and subtract 106,594. A 1628 tonner I forgot to log. That would be a small engine aft. So that's no big deal though. So let me plug that number in here. 108,222 at 23 ships. And then I have to take that 1628, add it to 358.12. My new career total is 352,440 tons. Oh dear God. With 69 career ships sunk. Nice. I'm going to get awarded for this mission. I mean, that's an absurd level of efficiency that I just did there, man. Unreal. Lieutenant Commander Richard O. Kane, Commanding Officer, USS Gar. Well, I'm on the USS Drum. Again, I don't remember the game being that buggy, or having that bug. And it's even dated December 10, 1941. We're deep into 1943 at this point. It's almost summer 1943. Nonetheless, for extraordinary heroism as Commanding Officer, of the drum. The Navy Board of Decorations and Medals awards the Victory Cross to Lieutenant Commander Richard O. Kane. His inspiring leadership and aggressiveness are in keeping with the highest traditions of the United States Submarine Force. Look at this. This is good news, guys. Shiny new submodels are constantly rolling off the assembly line as the war effort ratchets up. Due to your performance, you've been placed first in line to receive one of these newer models as they arrive at the base. You could, however, turn it down if you prefer your current model. Do you take the new submarine and continue? By the way, they carry about 100,000 gallons of diesel fuel. So that is a vast amount of fuel on that submarine when it departs. I'm going to take my shiny new sub. I have been given command of a new submarine. Which one did it give me? You know, that's the other thing, too. I wish I could name these submarines. Pick a submarine that's my favorite, right? Give me a list to choose from.
During the past months, we've made good progress in the Solomons, despite the desperate Japanese resistance and attempts of repelling our forces. Until August, different attempts were made by the Japanese to bring reinforcements to New Georgia, and several small naval battles were fought in Kula Gulf and in Vela Gulf, with the US Navy managing to push them back. With us controlling the sea, the Japanese had to stop sending reinforcements to New Georgia, which made our advance easier. So by the end of August, fighting on the island was over. During September, the advance of the Allied troops through Colombagara and Vela Lavala Islands intending to push the enemy to the north was progressing quite steadily. By the end of the month, the Japanese started evacuating both islands. In the beginning of October, Solomon Islands were completely under our control.
Yeah, I was muted there for a minute. Because while that cinematic was going on, I was drinking water, and I don't want you guys to hear no slurping. What I'm saying is I'm updating things. I was also talking about how I wanted to put a stern-mounted gun and a bow-mounted gun on, but it's not allowing me that. I can only have one 4-inch 50 cal. But, you know, oh well. I was talking also about the torpedoes, about how the more reliable Mark 23 torpedo is pretty expensive. And this ship's got the same, it's essentially the same as the Gato class, which the USS Drum, my last submarine, was a Gato class. And the only real difference is these had, I believe, if I remember right, Palau had a thicker pressure hull so they could go deeper. And that was a big plus. One of the things that was interesting was that earlier in the war, the Japanese didn't know how deep our submarines could go, so they were dropping their depth charges way too shallow. And there was, you can Google search, and I forget the guy's name, there was a senator that was bragging about it in a news conference. About, hey, the Japanese, they're not hurting our submarines because they're not dropping the depth charges deep enough. He made a comment like that. So the Japanese promptly changed the fuses on their depth charges to go deep enough to start, damaging our submarines and killing our sailors. Yeah, that's pretty awful. But I'll tell you what, the Mark 14 torpedo is prone to the failures. Does it make them more prone to misfire? Thicker pressure hull? No. Well, let me see what we got here. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 24 torpedoes would cost me 2,400 renown. I can afford it easily. But when I refit, I always end up getting the cheesier Mark 14 torpedoes, as reloads. So you can only get these when you dock. The refits don't give you the good torpedoes. So I just have a tendency to just simply take these, the cheaper, more prone to failure ones. And just bank renown. One of the things I'm going to do here, I'm going to go do some crew management real quick, because holy cow, these guys, they're earning their bacon now, I'll tell you that. After a run like that, I can basically just promote everybody. Oh my goodness, I can make this guy, this petty officer, I can make him a regular officer, I think. No, I can't. He's not lit up. I'm going to keep promoting the deck watch. Having well promoted deck watch, when you're doing surface work without the radar, it makes a huge difference. I'll get the last of my aft torpedo room guys promoted up. And then I should probably, 4 torpedoes have been doing real good. Promote up some propulsion guys. Yeah, I will promote up one more of those torpedo men. Wounded medals. What's up, Gamer Kid? What you been up to? How about my officers? My petty officers? A couple more of them need some medals. Mandroom and Conning Tower, I tend to want to promote those guys up. Watchman would be good to promote up too. Patrol stars. Who gets patrol stars? Again, Watchman would be good for that. Conning Tower guys. Spread the love. One stern tube, one forward tube. Torpedo room guys. Then one more control room guy. Good deal. I think I don't have that many gunners. There's a couple here on deck watch. My crew is stoked. Let's go back out. We're going to save where we're at here, because I just did a lot of work. Transfer not possible. I always look to see if there's a transfer out there. Waiting for me. Looking at my ship. There's no new technologies that I haven't already put on board. Well, ladies and gentlemen, just got off the camera doing race control. I've done a race at the Glen and the GR86. That sounds like fun, man. Gamer kid, honestly. I'll tell you what, speaking of race control, I do race control, but I don't stream it, because when I'm doing race control, I want to operate independently with no distractions. There's a lot of times it requires a lot of concentration and diligence. It's for the Porsche Club of America. They have races that will be broadcast tomorrow on Wednesday at 9 o'clock Eastern, Thursday at 9 o'clock Eastern time. And that race starts around 9, so from 8:30 to probably about 10:30. I'm either getting ready for that, or I'm doing that, or I'm calming down after having done it. So if I feel like playing this game from 11 to 1, I might come do a couple hours with it. I generally plan on taking Wednesday and Thursday night off from streaming. But I think I'm going to come back and stream tomorrow night, because, my God, this is starting to ramp up. It's starting to get fun. Before I leave tonight, though, I am going to embark cool, I don't have to go to mainland Japan. So for my 9th War Patrol, the date will be a departure of April 5. So let me plug that in. 1943. It says deploy to Solomon Islands and engage enemy merchant shipping. So let me update my orders. Deploy to Solomon Islands. I want to go to Rabaul again. And engage enemy merchant shipping. So let me get this updated. Oh, you guys, that was fun. It's been a fun couple of nights. Those last 2 trips have been a lot of fun. All right. Next. Outside. The Palau. Sweet! I don't think there's any more new submarines. I think this is the submarine I'm going to captain through the remainder of the war. Reviewing is the big thing, gamer kid. In fact, for the Porsche Club of America, I'm not the race control. I am a race control. That would be DJ. DJ Lion.
Yes, sir.
And it's a 2-man job. It's road, you know, it's the Porsche 911 GT3R. And there's actually 4 races over the course of 2 weeks. The first 2, the lower levels, go on Wednesday and Thursday night. Then the next week, the next 2 highest level goes on Wednesday and Thursday night. So for every event, every track they go to, there's 4 races spanning 2 weeks. And DJ Lion is kind of, you know, the main guy he carries, but you need a second guy there to help with the reviews, to say, hey, do you agree with this, you know, penalty? Do you think that this is how this actually happened? And, you know, you got to kind of have a committee of 2 looking these things over. So, yeah. Let's go to the Solomon Islands. You know, this game is so fun, this might be like a good night to... Am I going to collide with that guy? It was close. Get back on one of those later night sleep schedules that you guys are more familiar with me having. Much nicer looking ship. Look at that cool conning tower. Ah, she's sleek. We'll do a quick save game as Patrol. Let's look at it in the daytime. An amazing submarine. You can actually see that this thing right here, this is a hydrophone. And you can actually see that on the USS Silver Sides. I've never been to the Drum, but on the Silver Sides you can see this thing plain as day. In fact, one of the tour guides at the Silver Sides Museum is very similar to Sub Brief that we talked about earlier. He's a former sonar man, and so he'll explain. I mean, I had a lot of questions for him. It was so much fun to talk to that guy. He wasn't a World War II veteran, you know. He was a more, you know, modern Navy guy. But that's the deck. This is just what the Silver Sides looks like up top, pretty much. Not exactly, but very similar. And it's a Gato class. Silver Sides is not a Palau class submarine. You know, the funny thing is, in the Porsche Club, those drivers don't do intentional stuff very often because what's this? Aircraft? Well, let me crash dive. Get down to depth. We'll slow down. Actually, let me go to 1/3 and see how fast this thing drains battery.
Yes, sir.
The Blau probably gives me a lot more battery. It's about the same.
Yes, sir.
Let's surface.
Surface the boat.
We'll go ahead 2/3. Start saving fuel a little bit. First of all, to be in the Porsche Club of America and to participate in these races, you have to be in the real Porsche Club of America, which is the largest single manufacturer car owners club in the world. And to be a member of it, you have to own a Porsche. So these are garden varieties, iRacers. By any stretch.
Single contact. Bearing.
2 aircraft attacking from my left. I'll crash dive, get down to depth. Slow down to 2 knots to save battery. We'll patrol underwater for a couple odd hours. Resurface. Return to 2/3 speed.
Head slow.
Yes, sir.
Get the radar going again. At full range. New message. Engage enemy merchant shipping in the area of the Solomon Islands. It is the 10th of April, 1943. Though I don't have to engage them here, I'm going to go to Rabaul. Yeah, because if you're doing hosted races, it's just any old iRacer can go in there and play, you know? But when you're in the Porsche Club, and the Porsche Club has 5 levels of racing, 4 of which are broadcast. There's the entry level. I gotta remember this, how they're named. Let me take a look, I got a list. The entry level isn't broadcast, but the next 4 levels are Challenge and Sport, and then Club and Pro the next week. So, if you're screwing around, you might get relegated. You know, you might lose your seat at the table. You might have to go back from Club level back to Sport, or from Sport back to Challenge, or from Pro back to Club. If you're out there screwing around, or you might get kicked out altogether. All of those things are options, so it's very disciplined. I don't own a Porsche. You don't have to own a Porsche to do race control or the broadcasting. They just kind of hire you in to actually drive and race in the PCA. Those are the people that have to be members. They have to kind of go outside of the organization. You know, there really isn't anybody in the club that, you know, knows how to do the broadcasting work. I'm not seeing anything here, so... we're just patrolling around. Let me see how much fuel I got left. Man, when I got this close to Rabaul, what's this out here? A task force. I wonder whose task force that is. Wow, this could get ugly. Let me save something here a minute. Let me save patrol. It's getting so late. It's not late by my old standards, it's just late by my new standards. Alright, here comes aircraft. It's 0700 hours. Let me crash dive here for a minute. And I'll putt along at 2 knots.
Current speed 2.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, if you think about it, I wonder if I'm going to run aground. I'll keep pinging the ocean floor here to see when I have to come up from my 130 feet of depth. "96 feet. Let's come up to periscope depth.
Yes, sir. Periscope
Yes,
depth.
sir.
Depth under keel 100 feet. In this branch here, I'm going to have to surface 120 feet, 113, 111, 100 feet, 90 feet, 80 feet, 76 feet, 64 feet, 60 feet. Yeah, right now, at periscope depth, I am scraping the bottom. I don't think I can sail through there at periscope depth. So we'll save game, patrol, save. Yes, resume. I know from experience I can cheat by about 5 or 6 feet
Yes, sir. New depth. Locked.
without getting my conning tower above the surface and being spotted. Depth below keels 18 feet, 17 feet, 15, 14. Yeah, you can go through here at periscope depth minus a few odd feet. There's nowhere to dive. Alright. Now I'm in plenty deep of water. Hundreds and hundreds of feet down there. But there's a task force coming through here, so... It's a beautiful ocean. I'm supposed to be close to land. Oh, I see it in the distance. You guys probably won't see it on stream. That you can see. But there's a little bit of a haze. There's like a nice Pacific summery haze out there. It's preventing you from seeing the land that's over there. I can go fully to periscope depth now. Now I'm in the middle of this harbor area out in front of Rabaul. And it's small through here. I mean, it's... If I surface here, even at night, I'm liable to be spotted. So let me listen with my hydrophones a minute, because I know that there's a task force coming. That's my own propellers. And you listen behind you. There's a little bit of CO2 here to deal with, not much. I got a lot of battery, a lot of fuel. I'm in really good shape in this spot right here. So what I'm going to do is to save game. I'll save patrol. And tomorrow... Possibly. I might not be back till Friday. but I might be back tomorrow too. I want to play this game, so I think after I do the Porsche Club of America race control, I'll probably come and put a couple hours into this. I don't want to be doing this. It's already 1:19. I'm an hour and a half over how long I want to stream. I don't want to stream past midnight really, but nonetheless, maybe I'll go till 1 a.m. I could probably be streaming from 10:30 or 11 till 1 to 1:30. Get a couple hours of ship sinking in. It's just so much fun, man. I can sit and do this for 8 hours really easy. So what I'm going to do for now is I'm going to thank you guys for coming and chatting and hanging out, lurking. I hope you enjoyed the action. This is an enormous amount of fun for me, man. It doesn't even feel like 4 hours. You know, back when I used to play DMZ, 4 hours felt like 4 hours. You know, you were just sweating it out all the time. But this is just relaxing fun. I can really, really dig it. So what I'm going to do is bid you guys a good night with a promise to be back Friday, but the teaser that I might come back tomorrow night after the race, especially if I feel like I do now, where I got a little bit of energy and I'm not all, you know, wasted, tired. I have no errands to run tomorrow like I did today and yesterday, so there's nothing to set me back time-wise or to keep me from doing that. So again, appreciate my good friend Kyle. Rebellious went in there and he resubbed. He's such a cool dude. I've known him forever too. Garden Glove, appreciate the follow. I didn't expect to get any follows playing a 17-year-old game, but we're glad to have you on board either way. You guys have a good night. And if I don't see you tomorrow night or Thursday night, we'll be back on Friday. Have a good night, you guys. See you. Bye.